Oh, God. How is everybody doing? All right. It is a beautiful Wednesday night. So you know what that means. It is time for the Humpty Dump. Yes, I am not changing the name, no matter how many times people DM me and tell me it's a terrible name. The dump is a dump. Okay, it's dump of information, people. Get your mind out of the gutter. But anyways, we are here. We're ready to go. And I would like to introduce my panel. Some people might be popping in and out. I have no set lineups anymore. I don't know whatever happened. People moved on. People get bigger than me. Okay, that's what happens. I bring them in. They get bigger. They stomp all over my heart and they leave me. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, anyways, Machini 90 wouldn't do that to me. He is the artist of the fourth wave. And tell him hello and where they can find you if you're working on anything. Machini 90.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to the Wednesday Humpty Dump. My name is Machini 90, artist and illustrator. And even if, or should I say when, I rise higher than Sporking podcast, I will still be a mod on this channel. I will still support him regardless. And everybody here. Anyway,
I will clip that. I'm going to clip that. Just when you surpass me, that's going to be definitely
okay.
Clipped.
All right. Speaking of which, I did drop a video earlier this morning. I am trying something a little different, something that I think the fans of our Fortnite community will really like. So if we can get as much support as we can on that video possible, I will definitely be making more of that. So thank you.
Scott, are you saying word?
Scott?
I am so quiet because I'm muted. God, I suck at this. I just said some beautiful things about you, and I can't repeat it because it made me tear up. But one half of the McCabe brothers, Nick McCabe.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing well.
That was beautiful. Thank you. And finally, a co-host. I consider him one, so I could rope him in to keep coming back. It is the Pimp Daddy Hair himself, Culture Casino.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. We enjoy doing the Humpty Dump. That's right. We're doing the Humpty Dump. Everybody, let's get going.
All right. So let's do this, guys. Let's say hello to the chat real quick.
Scott, I think you're muted again.
I am not this time. It's not muted.
He's not muted.
Could you hear me?
Machini was teasing.
Oops.
Oh, you son of
bad.
a... No,
Sorry,
it's my bad. You son of... Anyway, I had a flashback to my old computer. I'm like, no. Roger H with I want to say it's a thumbs. I didn't look. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Of course, it's Roger Haynes. It's Canadian.
It's
190.
always.
Yeah.
What did I just do? Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so I had things coming into my ears because I flipped over to YouTube and I forgot to mute it, so that really threw me off. But yes, it's always a Canadian 199, and it's a thumbs up, guys. Thanks, Culture Casino, for helping me out on that one. Tina Bojan, good evening, friend. She's lurking and working, but she's here, guys. We got Pop Culture Archivist. Archivist.
You said it right. Yes, you're
Archivist. Yeah, it's Archivist.
I speak English. Hail, everyone. And who else do we got here? We got Machini saying hello to everyone. The Time Prophet is always here. Hail, everyone. Oh, it's Jack D. Jake
D.
Jake
D.
Dude, really?
Oh, Jake, my bad. He's a member of the channel. And yes, we got him over 400 subs on yelling at cars. So yelling at parked cars with Comics Division and those guys. And that was a lot of fun pumping him up and getting him over the mark.
Scott, you may want to read Stig Kenobi's comment.
Oh, God, I'll get there.
We're here to pump you up.
Pump you up. Hello, Humpty Dumpties. Bone says. Stig Kenobi says, watching from the bathroom, back to bed in a few.
No, not the that one. The other one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get there. I'm getting there. We got Theme Park Casual here. What's going on? And who else is here? Culture Casino. Shane G. Hail all. Is this the Stig? Wins? Oh,
yep.
God. When's the winner got announced an hour ago? Don't, dude. Don't. Seriously? No, that's not true. Someone else talked for a minute. I got to look something up.
See, we got a very the first article we're going to go through for tonight's Wednesday's Humpty Dump is one that Scott is going to be pretty heated about. So we're just going to let him take the floor. Just kind of let him, take over. We're just going to sit back and just kind of be like, yes, man, All I can say is,
I don't see anything. I don't see it.
There's an important lesson here about learning to keep your priorities in check.
And my priority, dude, Stig just threw me. Dude, I don't even know what to say. Stig threw me so off there. He's a liar, I believe.
Oh God,
Jake, yeah, real funny, man. Yeah, we're gonna find out if that's true. If you have anybody knows, stop! It's not April Fool's yet. That's tomorrow, Stig.
Yeah, it's April Fool's.
Oh, wait a minute. It might be where he is. Oh, that son of a bitch. Good one. You guys got me. I hate you all. I really appreciate that, Scott. Always a pleasure to watch the Sporking news. You got to say sporting, because that's what pops up anytime people look for Sporking news. It's sporting news. Yeah. What is the date in Norway? I know now. Oh, literally, dude, I forgot. Every fathom of my hatred for what has been going on with the Winds of Winter just disappeared for a second. So you gave me like a moment, Stig, of just pure bliss back into this hole. And what is this hole, guys? This hole is another announcement. George R. R. Martin to do Game of Thrones Broadway show about the great tourney at Harrenhal. So I wish
the floor is yours. That's all I'm gonna say.
I got to read a little bit of this now, just to give you guys a little bit of understanding, because I don't know if you guys know what the Great Tourney is. The Great Tourney happened during the false spring, and what this was all about was it was the Harrenhal. I think it was a Went, held one of the grandest tournaments of all time. All the major houses were there. A lot of people believe that it was actually a way for Rhaegar Targaryen, the crown prince, to meet with all the major lords of Westeros and show them that he can take the place of his father, who was the Mad King Aerys. I mean, it's such a great piece of work. This whole tourney, things that happen, people slighted, people hooking up, little questions that reach on decades later to the main story. But to make a play out of it when we haven't finished the main story, it's just, like George, I defend him so much. So I'm going to read first. I'm going to read because we're getting the books. Jayne Theory, we're getting the books, right? We're getting the books.
Oh, where's Jayne?
She's currently on Twitch.
I'm not ranting yet, buddy. I'm not ranting yet. Oh, she's twitching away probably. I took his soul. Yes, you did, you son of a bitch. George R. R. Martin is the ultimate troll. He's doing this for kicks. He might be. He really might be, but let's read on. All right, so George R. R. Martin to do Game of Thrones Broadway. Yeah, I read that. And this is by Sarah Whitten. That's from the show. George R. R. Martin lending his talents to Broadway. The author behind the mega hit Unfinished, A Song of Ice and Fire book series, Unfinished, which was the basis for HBO's Emmy Award-winning series Game of Thrones, is now writing. Oh God, is he doing it? Is now writing a script for a play based in the fantasy world of Westeros. The Hollywood Reporter said Tuesday that the play will center around the Great Tourney of Harrenhal and debut in New York, London, and Australia in 2023. Martin will work with playwright Duncan Macmillan, 1984, and theater director Dominic Cook on the project. The Great Tourney at Harrenhal is an important historical event in the world of Westeros, occurring I just told you all this bullshit. while no characters have been officially announced, yeah, we would have Ned, Lyanna, Jaime, Robert, Rhaegar, all the big dogs. The seeds of war are often planted in times of peace, Martin said in a statement. Did he just give this statement? Few in Westeros knew the carnage to come when highborns and small folk alike gathered at Harrenhal to watch the finest knights of the realm compete in a great tourney during the year of the false spring. It is a tourney oft referred during HBO's Game of Thrones and in my novel, A Song of Ice and Fire. And now at last we could tell the fucking story on stage. So he's involved. This is great. You can't even finish one freaking of the 2 books. Can't do it, could you? No, you got to do a play. You got to ink a big deal. Hey, man, get your money. I get that. But finish what you're going to be. See, this is the thing. When you're dead, hopefully many years from now, I mean, you might be a cheeseburger away, but hopefully many years from now, people aren't going to look back on the show and connect it with you. People aren't going to look back on Broadway or any of the shows on HBO or even the Dunk and Egg series because you're not going to finish that. What they're going to remember is this guy was up there with Tolkien, was in the same breath with Tolkien, yet he didn't finish it. And he dropped lower than Robert Jordan because Robert Jordan was sick and couldn't finish it. You gave up on us. You gave up on the contract you made with your fans when you started this series, telling us it was going to be a trilogy. All right. And when you changed it to 5 books, all right, 6, 7, we came along for the journey. And then you decided to stop. And what do you guys think? I mean, you guys are kind of outside looking in. You're probably fans of the show. I know Nick is a little bit more involved, but what do you guys think his legacy could be now?
I didn't finish my series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where did you get to?
Well, I read through all of the books and I watched the program, which disappointed me greatly. I think this would just be the disappointment that sums up all of the whole thing for me.
I mean, it's just, look, I've said it on, let me get back on camera. I've said this on streams before. George R. Martin, like, I hated reading. I have a learning disability. I'm dyslexic. I never did good in school. I never did good when they forced reading on us. I think one book I finished in school was A Day No Pigs Would Die. Other than that, I skimmed through them, Cliff Notes, whatever. I read comics, and that was about it. And it wasn't until my then girlfriend, now wife, bought me Game of Thrones prior to the show coming out that I fell in love with a world and a way of writing and a way of telling a story that got me to want to try other authors, realizing that the way they teach kids in school, forcing them to read things, isn't the way reading should go. Reading should be because you find it passion. And
Absolutely.
Nick, there's something out there for everybody.
Yeah. I was exactly the same when I was in school. I absolutely despised reading. But then when I got to TAFE, which equates to American Community College, I just started devouring books. And my introduction to sort of...
Did you not have proper food?
Oh, no, I had proper food.
Oh, okay.
anyway. So I just started devouring books at that time. And my first sort of foray into sort of high fantasy was the Terry Goodkind books, and whatever you might think of him as a person, it was a huge world. And then I just got into other things, and then Game of Thrones came along.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, if you look, a lot of the people in the chat follow my Monday stream, and they are involved and invested like I am in a Game of Thrones, in a Song of Ice and Fire. I always say Game of Thrones, but it really is a Song of Ice and Fire. Game of Thrones is only the first book. We were disappointed by the show, and really what that was, it was because we thought it suffered because George was stepping away from the show to put more effort into his book. But even then, the show still suffered. And I'm not taking it away from Dan and Dave, mostly Dave's freaking ego, thinking he was the master artist. But George stepped away just to live a life that we helped give him. And I really don't think people say he loves his fans. How do you love your fans if you don't give them what they deserve? You know, like that's what bothers me. Oh, George loves his fans. He bought an old movie theater and plays old movies, and he loves talking to his fans. He used to do the Order of the Green. I'm losing my shit right now. He used to knight people into a certain club and this and that, but that was decades ago when he was a small time, ex-writer in Hollywood, and that close-knit group of A Song of Ice and Fire fans he was involved with. But he's another stratosphere now, man. And this guy is still inking deals, and he doesn't even have to finish his series. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Do we actually know at all if he has or hasn't finished the series?
So I try so hard to be positive. I don't know if I know that's hard to believe, but I really do when it comes to this. I believe he's way farther along he was way farther along in the Winds of Winter than we thought. And I really believe it wasn't just the book series or the show, but I think the show made him rethink some things. Mm-hmm. And he must have went back and changed up, but he always does that. He'll give out a sample chapter, and then when you read it in the book, it's a little bit different. But some of his best sample chapters ever were for the Winds of Winter. But it's the way he writes in his blog, finished hundreds of pages, still have hundreds of pages to go. Well, a manuscript is what, 1,500 pages, right? Like, I don't think you could do much more than that for one book before you hand it in. Like, I think that's like the limit. So if you're already writing hundreds and it's been 10 years and you're telling us you just did hundreds this year, where the hell were you before this year, before the pandemic?
Well, again, Scott, you mentioned, I mean, he may be rewriting parts and elements, and, he isn't satisfied with a couple of chapters. They don't fit well with telling the story. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff, right?
Right. And I get that. I get that part of it. But man, look, I'm a capitalist through and through. Make your money. Like, you're only on the earth once. If you have the chance, make your money. But your legacy is something that I think is more important. And your legacy will be the guy who didn't finish what could have been one of the greatest fantasy series of all time and leave us all in the wind.
And that might actually, be an accurate takeaway, Scott. But again, I mean, he could have lost passion. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in the writing thing. I mean, yes. He should come out and just say, what's up, pop culture archivist? And hey, Sven, look, he could just be gotten bored, or he's looking for inspiration, or, sometimes, you have everything laid out and you put it down on the page and you're like, well, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem like it's good. So, and I wish more authors, to be honest with you, would like approach their work that way. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't think you're getting this, Scott. I think that, I think he's in a corner as far as writing goes, because the show told some story elements that weren't probably going to be in there, but it also probably told some elements that were, and it was not well received by people.
Yeah.
So,
well, what bothers me we had on Wednesday's show, Culture, we had Storyman Jack, and we had author Stephen Walton, both writers, both talented guys. And they really did. They hit something that I didn't think of, like, how bad the show did affected his psyche and made it hard for him to step back into that world.
I think it may have affected your psyche too. I mean, a lot of fans' psyches, to be honest with you. That wasn't meant to be offensive. I wasn't.
No. I understand that, but I've always been the type that, and I've said it since, about season 5, the show is the show. The books are the books. They're different. I don't care if they end in the same place, Bran being king. I don't know how the hell that's going to happen. And Dany, doing what she did, but George will get us there in a way that I understand. They just wanted to finish and move on to their Netflix money, or Star Wars money, whatever happened to that.
Well, what happened to that was their project was received so poorly by fans that there was no longer an interest in them. Same thing with Ruin Johnson. I mean, once they realized the backlash of the fans, he lost that as well. So, like I said, I mean, I don't anticipate he will finish the series before he passes.
Right.
You know, he may have.
Will he finish this book? Will he finish this book?
Scott, what's the answer so far?
No, but see, I'm holding on till he'll finish this book, but I'm starting to look. I've been a defender. You know this, like people that are look, A Song of Ice and Fire fandom. The people that follow me are a little bit different, but the majority of them, like, they are apologists for George, and I understand why. They love his content, they love the man, but like, they will come after you if you talk wrong about him. And I don't care, because that's who I am. I'm going to speak my truth. And the truth is I love his books. I love Dunk and Egg. Finish one of them and I'd actually be happy. I would be happy with a Dunk and Egg finish. Let me know what happens at Summer Hall. You know, like, give me that at least. But he's not going to finish any of it. And then just like the blatant disregard of people's feelings, like, yeah, we're going to bring it to Broadway.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I don't know. Makani, you got anything to add?
I remember back in, like, when I was still in college, still in school, I was like in my early 20s, and that was around the time that Game of Thrones was as big as ever. It's that in The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. Everybody would talk about it. I would hear all stuff about it. You know, hearing my hearing my coworkers back then were big into Game of Thrones, and they were just as angry as pretty much Gary was, as pretty much everybody else was, for how bad that last season was. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, okay, it was probably Benioff and Weiss themselves, knowing George R. R. Martin, he's probably still have a couple books to finish, but it's just hearing him just kind of just flip-flopping onward and offward about if he's going to finish or not, and just kind of not really keeping his priorities in check. I won't say slacking off. I'm just thinking just not really keeping his focus on, finishing the current book, because there are still, millions upon millions of people who are still waiting for that book to finish.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I got to criticize him, is just because it's like, we've been in lockdown for a year, right?
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin, he has been stuck up in a cabin.
That's what he said.
A whole year under lockdown. So he had all this free time.
Yeah.
To finish.
To get in the world.
To get into it, and still nothing. And still we hear delays. Oh, it's going to get pushed back. Oh, it's going to get pushed back. Oh, it's going to get pushed back. I was like,
yeah. Yeah, put me in jail if I come to New Zealand, like, he knew he wasn't going to be done by then. Like, if lockdown didn't get him through this, I don't know what it will. And it's hard to defend somebody who, makes it seem like it's fans' fault for getting upset. And they turned it into that toxic fandom. And the truth is, the majority of the people that are upset now were people that defended him last year. Like, yeah, Gary and I have butt heads about this, because I don't want to believe it. That's the truth. I just don't want. I hear it. Doomcock, he was on the channel and said the same thing. I didn't want to believe it, but I don't know, man. The more I see him, is it one of those things where he's like, yeah, I'm going to finish the book. Squirrel, I inked a new deal. Squirrel. Yeah. I don't know. I don't.
It could also be like I know that Sam and I have gone through this as writers as well, but is it possible that in a weird psychological way that it's become a chore?
Oh, I don't doubt it.
And that's a complete turn off.
Yeah, that is the best way I've heard it put, Nick.
Now, I mean, I've gone through it myself, where especially through, like, for instance, an editing process where it just takes so long to get everything down on paper, and then when you finally get it down on paper, it's not perfect, and then suddenly it becomes a chore to even dive back into that world. And
I couldn't imagine, now you tell me, like, how diverse and entangled this world is. Like, I don't know if you lose any of that interest, like it is a hard, the last two books, it's going to be really hard to figure out how to get everyone in the same place. That's all I know. It's so aggravating. Pop Culture says, yeah, I was defending George, but I'm leaning towards more in the Gary direction now. And don't tell him, but yeah, I am too. It's so aggravating. He fell out of love with Westeros, and that's
very possible.
I think that could be possible. Yeah.
It's a good way of putting it, man. I never thought of putting it that way. Let's finish this article and see what they have. Representatives for Martin were not immediately available to comment. Okay. The news comes just days after Martin struck a 5-year deal with HBO to create content for the network. Warner Media, which owns HBO, has already begun working on Game of Thrones prequel called The House of the Dragon, which I'm looking forward to. And I will be doing, live shows right after. Hopefully
it's got some good people involved.
Yeah. Good. You know what? Showrunners are good. Cast looks good. So and writers look good. So I'm happy. Like I'm happy to see this. I'll dive back in the world. I talked to a couple people about either doing it on my channel or one of their channels. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully right after, but that's not until 2022. We could still fit a book in between then. The company has at least 5 other series in development for HBO and streaming service HBO Max. Now, I know they're doing a version of, they call it like 10,000 Ships, which is the Nymeria and the Ronar coming over to Dorne. That's a big story in the world of Westeros. I believe they're doing one maybe about Robert's Rebellion, but it sounds like they're doing the play now about that, but not, that's right before the rebellion, but what leads up to it. So maybe the show will be about that. Another one was about, oh God, I forgot his name, which is an interesting one actually, but I've just heard a couple different things, which they sound like they'll be cool shows.
The guy that built Harren Hall.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Harren the Black. There's another one about he's a sailor, but I'm forgetting his name right now. I've just heard multiple ones, and don't get me wrong, these stories would be exciting to listen to and watch and see if the main reason we all got into it was finished. I would dive in. I love the history and lore. I got every single book you could think of. Like, I want that, but I want to finish the goddamn thing. Broadway, which has been closed for more than a year because of the coronavirus pandemic, could reopen in September. Last week, Mayor Bill de Blasio detailed a vaccine rollout in the theater district that would someone say that.
Inoculate.
I told you I can't barely read, but these books made my life change. Members of the industry with the hope of getting shows up and running in the fall. That's it. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything? Because I know I talked a lot. Let me know if you guys have anything you'd like to say.
I just don't think he's going to finish it. And
I feel like if I talk, I'm going to tear your heart out. So
I know.
Do it. Just do it, man. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just rip the goddamn Band-Aid off. I'm over it. Like, I'm so over it. I'm not over it, but rip the Band-Aid off. I need to hear this.
Go ahead, Makani.
Yeah, you first, Mock.
What? All I said was just that. Okay. Scott corrected me when I said that I thought that he was being lazy at this point, and I do think he's not being lazy, but he's not prioritizing.
Mm-hmm.
And I still stand by that.
Yeah.
I still think is that before you finish anything else, before you start on any other deals, I think it's important that you need to finish the main story, finish the main thing, because that's what, like you said, that's what a lot of people are waiting for the most. They don't want to look for the spinoff. They're waiting for the main stuff to be finished. You think about, and I think it's just important just because you have a property that became as big as Lord of the Rings, as big as Harry Potter. And the thing is, J.K. Rowling, J.R.R. Tolkien, they finished their books.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But to be fair, that was before, in J.R.R. Tolkien's days, that was before Lord of the Rings became such a big household name. But yeah, still, I think it's important to finish your main material before you move on to whatever future plans left, because that's where your fan base is. That's how important. That's what the people are still staying here for. That's what people are, defending you for. That's what people are waiting for. And the thing is that you also have to factor in is that at, George R. R. Martin's current age, will he be able to finish before his time comes?
Right.
And like you said last week, he's not at the state. He's not very healthy at his age.
At least what he looks like. We don't know if he's, on some type of, I don't know, sprout diet. I don't know. But
yeah, it's just, I would say, listen, get this out, finish it. If not, come out and just be honest. Come out and just say, we just can't. I just simply can't be able to finish it.
Yeah, the bullshitting.
At least be honest there.
Yep.
At least there you can be honest and transparent.
I think people would be more forgiving if you were transparent. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would.
And then if you did that, then at least spend the remainder of your days. At least come up with a backup plan, or have somebody come up with a plan to make sure that. So if I don't finish this, then I know someone who will, or pass it off to somebody who will finish what it started and who will stay to exactly as how I planned it.
Yeah.
I really
Justin,
do think
how
that
are you?
the series will indeed be finished.
I take it you
No,
guys
not
are
by
talking about Game of Thrones.
Broadway
Yes.
play? Yeah.
Wait, a Broadway? What the?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Broadway play.
Yes.
Was it going to be about season one? Like
No.
that would be kind of cool. What are they going to do?
No, they're actually doing something that is kind of cool. It is the tourney of Harrenhal. So where, Lyanna Stark meets Rhaegar Targaryen, and there's some slights and some this and that going on. It's an interesting time in Westeros right before Robert's Rebellion. But he just inked a 5-year deal for HBO for 5 shows. He inked this. He's already in production with other shows. Real quick, the other show is Sea Snake. It's about Corlys Valerian, which is a really cool story, which would be very interesting. But he finished the goddamn book first.
And that's the thing is that he did a great. I mean, it's a great job. There's so much in the books themselves that you can make endless spin-offs till the end of time.
Right. Soul Assassin put it perfectly. Tolkien fought in a war and taught college and still finished his damn book. And I don't care if it was a trilogy. It was involved, and he had a lot. He did Silmarillion,
4.
Oh, 4. Yeah. 4.
Yeah, you have to remember The Hobbit. Yeah, The Hobbit. There was a lot to it, and there's other books.
Similarian or similar.
I'm not trying to insult anything, but honestly, I feel like if I put out something, if I put out a trilogy or something, I would probably be able to finish it.
Yeah.
Before he does. And I'm not trying to insult or anything. I'm just saying it's just you have all these great stories. You have this entire world that you can make endless spin-offs of, endless adaptations.
Right.
It's infested. It's because the Game of Thrones, that whole thing, it's become a part of pop culture.
It is, yeah.
You are so right on that, and I think what I'm getting from what you're saying is that I think it also has something to do with I don't remember who said it, but they said book 6 is coming, like Winds of Winter.
They said winter is coming, but book 6 isn't.
Or that's I guess I would disagree then, because there's 5 books that are out already.
Yes.
6 will come in George R. R. Martin's lifetime, but 7, nah. It's going to be posthumously. It's gonna do very successful. It's going to do very well because it's like in memory of George R. R. Martin. Same thing happened with. This is going to piss some people off, as it always does. It's the same reason why The Dark Knight got over $1 billion at the box office.
Wrong.
No, I'm so correct. And it's the reason why Fast and Furious 7 got over $1 billion, because rest in peace, Paul Walker. Someone dies and people are like, oh, then let's go see the last of their work. It feels like a marketing strategy.
You actually, yes, marketing strategy to market on somebody's death. You know what? You're fair. that's a fairly crass take. I'm not going to say that you're craven. I'm just saying that's
It's
not
very harsh.
articulating a very good point.
Put it.
Yeah, it's not
Let
accurate,
me put it.
but that's
Sorry.
normal. No,
no. What I'm saying is that, like,
Wait a minute. You have a point. You have a point. Look, when The Dark Knight came out and he passed away, it got a bump, man. There's people that would never have gone and saw a Batman movie, loved Heath Ledger, and went and saw that movie. I understand what you're saying. I do. Mm-hmm. It gets a bump from normies. It gets a bump from people that are a little like morbid. It really does. It will pull in more money because of someone being lost. So I understand where you're coming with that, Justin.
Yeah, and plus it also helped that Heath Ledger did a fantastic job. But again, my criticism isn't on, those who have passed or anything. But my criticism, for example, why Heath Ledger won the Academy Award, that's more indicative of criticism of the Academy itself, not Heath Ledger's performance. And I think that's something that I haven't gotten across very clearly. But I want to get that, I want to clear that air right now, just so, Culture Casino doesn't get more and more angry with me with each stream that I disagree with him on. But I just want to clear that up. But yeah, that's kind of that's more or less what I kind of felt. Well, that's a good point, Soul Assassin. Carrie Fisher passed away, and you were very lucky you didn't see episode 8.
I mean,
but
Star Wars
oh
passed.
My gosh.
Star Wars passed away, and no one wanted to see it. So,
and that's another point I want to bring up is that I know that George R. R. Martin's, he's got like all this stuff here. He's Game of Thrones is a part of pop culture now and such. It's just, I think that what would be kind of important to him, having a huge pop culture, having a huge thing that became a pop culture, or having a huge thing that became a pop culture, knowing that he left this world actually finishing it.
Right.
He got the personal satisfaction actually finishing it. It's established.
Well, correct. And I understand that he's been busy lately. With the series, he hasn't published one since
10 years. 10 years.
No, what was it? What was it called? The Dragons Dance of Dragons. Dance of or dance?
A Dance with Dragons.
That
one right there.
Okay,
that one.
Dancing in New York.
Okay.
Yep. I got everyone. I got them all the books.
Yeah, I'm just, and he's published a lot more. Like he's published prequels for some reason. He's been working on the show, which I understand. But when you mentioned that, he's going to leave it to somebody, I'm like, who? Benioff and Weiss? No. Like what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do at that point? Right, but I understand Makini. You make a great point when you said, like, wouldn't it be great if he just finished it? Because nobody would be complaining. Nobody would be bitching if he had completed the last 2 novels and then decided to do all this bullshit.
Well, that's my question. So he knows that he must know that, like, okay, I'm getting older. I got 2 books to finish. I would think he's the type of guy that would worry about legacy in the writing world. Like in pop culture is one thing, but legacy in the writing world is something that lasts millennia. So
and it's something to bring up. Sorry to interrupt you, Scott, but
no, go ahead, man.
It's something that you brought up a good point, because think about this. Ever since Game of Thrones came out, I can say that there's probably been a lot of things that we've seen in the past couple of years that has taken some inspiration from Game of Thrones.
Oh God, yeah.
In terms of just like world building, in terms of just all this
Put
stuff.
it this way, The Witcher would never have been made if Game of Thrones wasn't a show.
Right. And hell, even a lot of people who are coming up with stuff, coming up with their own worlds, coming up with, epic fantasy stuff, they probably take a lot of inspiration from how Game of Thrones handled its own world building, how it set up its own characters and such.
He definitely will be motivation for a generation of writers. It's just that, again, 200 years from now, when they're talking about great works of American or just great works of writing,
English,
just in Western Hemisphere, he will not be known for finishing it, but we'll still talk about Tolkien because he finished it. You know, if Tolkien didn't get to Return of the King, I don't know if we'd be talking about him the way we talk about him now.
Well, a lot of the way that we talk about him now, I mean, we have to understand that most of the 21st century, the younger people have watched the movies, and the movies are also significant to the legacy as well. Peter Jackson does deserve some sort of credit for visualizing it, but in terms of just literary purposes, I mean, I've only read The Hobbit when I was really young, and I don't remember a lot of the details because it was a confusing book for me, even though it was supposed to be a children's book back in when it was published. It just shows how generations work over time. But I mean, that shouldn't absolutely not take away from what Tolkien did.
Let me ask you guys this though, real quick. I'm sorry, but let me ask you this. Happy Dinosaur 8000 brings up something that a lot of us have said. I think that the GOT books are already made, but won't be released until his death. Like he's just like, you know what? With cancel culture, with the way the world is, I'm just going to release these after and let them fight among themselves. I don't want to hear it because artists are fragile. Look at Maki. You guys are fragile. You're fragile. Someone like rips on your art. You guys cut a ear off and send it to an old girlfriend. Like you guys are nuts. So, like maybe that's something. What do you, metaphorically.
What was that? Van Gogh?
Van Gogh, yeah. So tell me, what do you guys think of that statement Happy Dinosaur says? And what's up, Happy Dinosaur?
I think about that. I think that could be a possibility because it reminds me of the whole thing that when Michael Jackson passed away in 2009, we had all this like unreleased music and albums that he was working on up until his death. That they started finally releasing, kind of like with Tupac and such. I do think of it in kind of like that way,
right?
But I do think that that could be it. It's just that could be a possibility that he already has finished it. It's just it's probably waiting until he finally passes to release all that kind of that unreleased stuff that turns out to be the true ending to it all, the true bookend to everything.
Release the Germ cut. Is that what I'm going to have to do now, Nick? Release the Germ cut.
What's the Germ?
His name, George R.R. Martin, GRRM, Germ. That's what we call him. You're not cool enough to know that. Culture, what do you think?
Fuck off. Thank you. That was good.
Okay, no culture. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a valid point. I just don't think we're there. I don't think he's written everything. I think he went back and said, "Oh, this isn't going to work." I really think I really believe what, again, Storyman Jack and Stephen Walton said, that his ego took a hit and that he, because how bad the show went and the experience with that, the world of Westeros was something he just couldn't go back to.
I think he was very clear, though, after the show that he's like, well, that's not really the way my book's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's like, they kind of went off on their own direction. I mean, he was pretty, he was out there doing damage control.
Oh, yeah. Right, I mean, don't forget on the, real quick, on the series finale, he was tweeting about a different show. So, I mean, yeah, he didn't like that show. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, because both him and HBO, they were willing to pay Benioff and Weiss for like an extra 10 plus more episodes just to finish it off.
Oh, yeah.
But Benioff and Weiss said, no, we're just going to drop this.
Well,
so we can do Star Wars.
What pissed me off about those guys, and I don't mean to rehash this, but anytime someone says Dan and Dave, it pisses me off. They could easily have stepped away and handed the reins over to somebody, right. But their ego was so big that they felt like the world of Westeros couldn't live without them, even though they destroyed it in that final. I mean, really earlier than that, but for a lot of people in that final season. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they destroyed it for George too.
That's a great point. It seemed like because of that backlash, she's just like, well, why the hell would I even bother?
Right.
Even if he's lying, let's assume he's telling the truth, and then just saying like, that's not exactly what I intended, but that's the ending, but not the way I wanted to present it. Because it was rushed because Benioff and Weiss wanted to get to their Star Wars trilogy, which got canceled. And, credit where credit's due. I think Kathleen Kennedy made a great decision of just saying, like, oh, yeah, you guys, goodbye. Come on. Like, that's.
I have never heard words. I have never heard those words strung together before.
I know, right?
But you have to give credit where credit's due sometimes. And I think that was a good decision on Lucasfilm's part, just being like, yeah, maybe you guys shouldn't be a part of this. Unless you heard something different.
You have the world's softest takes. And you know what? That's just awesome.
Let me say this real quick.
And you have the softest hair as far as I'm concerned.
It does. It smells so good.
Yes.
He wrote a Feast for Crows and a Dance with Dragons at the same time. I don't know if he did a Clash of Kings and a Storm of Swords at the same time, Marby Dog, but I know it was Feast and Dragon at the same time. I had to look that up real quick though. The Witcher. Yeah, I know what The Witcher was based on. What I'm saying is the show never would have been made. Because of Game of Thrones and the pop culture like explosion the show had, I was meaning that the Witcher show would never be made, but I gotta believe George inspired a generation of writers. Just
toss
like
Tolkien to your streamer,
yeah, toss a coin to your streamer, that would be fine with me. And I always like this. I completely agree with Sporking News Podcast. I like that. Let's see. All right. Any last words on this before we move on?
I think this will be the perfect time to have Jayne Theory, Stig, and Miss Martin Muses on this one too.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
We'll be talking about it.
All right. I want to just really quick, just because I don't feel like typing it right now. Time Prophet is, confused about, what I said. When I was like 6 or 7 years old, one of my librarians had at my school had said, like, oh, you really like Harry Potter, you like the movies, you like the books, go read the books. By the way, there's this book called The Hobbit that might also be of interest to you. Little did I know that it was connected to Lord of the Rings that I also, was about to see that year. Because again, I was very young in the early part of this century. I was in kindergarten. So like it was, in 2001, Harry Potter and Fellowship of the Ring, I was seeing that all, and I didn't even have the context of the books or anything. I was like, The Hobbit, what is this? And she did not clarify that it was Lord of the Rings. So I was like, what is this? It was a little too complicated for me as a 6-year-old at the time. Maybe that's
yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Being
sick. So just like it was just she recommended it to me because I was interested in Harry Potter, not knowing that I just saw the movie and not read the book, and didn't know that it might be a little bit too complicated.
Right.
But I guess my interest just excited her because she didn't see too many elementary school students be excited about fantasy for a long time.
Yeah.
Which was great for the early 2000s, introducing literary elements, like just going from
it's always good for somebody to try to help you with that. If you like these films, let's bring you into the actual world of, like I was saying before you got on, Justin, it's like, because when I went to school, it was, you're forced to read these certain books. That's the books they want you to read. And none of them connected with me, really. It wasn't until my wife at the time, she was my girlfriend, gave me one of the Game of Thrones book, the first book, Game of Thrones, that I was like, oh, I could read just to enjoy. Holy shit, this is awesome.
Every now and then there are some books that will connect with you. Like my teachers taught The Outsiders, and then showed the movie with Ralph Macchio and Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez, C. Thomas Howell, the extended cut, the good one. But there are some books that will connect, but it's just so disheartening when there are schools that just don't, they don't think like, hey, this generation might, these group of kids might like this kind of book, instead of just like, let's go through the curriculum, go through the motions,
exactly,
bullshit like that.
Exactly. So Jake or Jack, I like Jack D, but Jake D for $5 says pick up the Expeditionary. Oh God, I suck at reading. That's why it's a lot. Correct. I did say it right. Expeditionary Force series. I should just go with it until someone tries to, because I've done it right 2 times and I stopped myself. Force series by Craig Allenson. Great fresh IP. That's ton of fun. If you do Audible, RC Bray narrates and is amazing. I will write that down and check it out. I have another one that I forgot who said it, but Brandon Weeks, the Night Angels trilogy. Someone told me to pick that up. I don't know if anybody's read that. I'm going to give that a chance too. So thank you for hooking me up with this one too, buddy. I will definitely check it out. I don't know why I'm writing it down right now. I can come back to it later. Okay. So let's move on.
You know what keeps me from writing notes now is screenshot. I screenshot the chat.
Oh, smart, man.
Yeah, just screenshot it.
That is smart. Yeah. I like that. That's a good idea. All right. How do I do that?
Well, you said I'm young. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You can either snip it or you can hit the Windows key and G at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Or Alt print screen, which is mine.
That'll work too.
Windows key and G at the same time.
Oh, I wonder.
Oh, look at that.
I just did that twice. Hey, I did that too.
Welcome to Xbox. What is this? Capture. Capture.
Just grab a screenshot. You don't need video capture.
Oh my God.
I just did it. That was neat.
You have to hit the button that says, take a picture.
I hit it. Oh, I understand that part. I know I'm slow, but I got that. But look, it gives you your audio, performance, CPU. Wow, this is neat.
Are you seeing the same thing that I am?
I don't know.
I think I am. There's like a performance thing that's at the bottom. Yes, and then there's right above that mix and voice and then capture.
Yeah.
There's all this thing at the top, and then Xbox Social is at the right corner.
I never saw that before. That is so awesome.
I don't even know what to do with this.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that later. Yes, I need to.
Thank you, Culture Casino, for educating us on this.
No problem.
Thank you.
I don't even know what to do.
I did it. Yes, Solar Sesame. Thank you, Culture. All right, so let's move on to the next one we are going to talk about, which was, of course, a little Gina Carano info. And I don't have that article.
She's hot.
Yeah, she is very hot. But I'm going to have to get back to my thing because I forgot to bring up the article. I'm an idiot.
The thirst is real, by the way.
The thirst is real?
You know what? If we're talking about what I think we're talking about, can we just bring up YetiCast's tweet?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, where is that? Yeah, that's a good one, man. Good call.
Make a shout out to YetiCast. He is blowing up big time right now. So,
dude, this is, I feel like, in a way, just I don't know what it is. I don't even know where I saw YetiCast from, but I just for some reason there are some people who I get on and I have a good feeling about them.
Yeah, he's been on the show. He's awesome.
You might want to work on the phrasing there, Justin.
Wait, what?
You got to work on the phrasing there, brother.
What do you mean?
There's some people that you get on.
Well, I love how your mind immediately goes there.
Phrasing.
No, but there are some people that I just get along with really well, and I don't know. There's something about YetiCast, and there's something about you, Culture Casino, that I was like, hey, these are good people to have on.
I have told everybody that you are a talent scout for YouTube.
Talent agent.
You find everybody. It's crazy. I have told many people that.
He does. So I don't know.
If that's what I'm known for, then so be it. That's cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know what the tweet was. If one of you guys, I can't find it, but
no, I'll screen share it right now. Yeah,
screen share it right now, buddy. Thanks.
There we go.
All right, hold on. Coming back to you.
This is the thing that went viral.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Why am I sharing screen? I don't have to do that. Here we go.
All right, so this is for people who don't know. Yep, this is what YetiCast had tweeted out. Being concerned, like, why have I not seen anyone talking about this? The senator. Well, you know what? Let's just let it roll.
People play the clip, so you're not.
I think we all know what's going on. By the way, look at this: 1.1 million fucking views.
Insane.
Fuck yes.
YetiCast
The only downside to this is that
YetiCast is here.
Hello.
What's up, brother?
He again is like, hey everyone, I heard my name and I just immediately.
YetiCast, you're still in. You just missed to say so many nice things about you, and you're still in the chat. Why don't you?
Yeah, I think it's still in the dump chat. Yeah, you can still jump on if you can.
Link in the dump chat. Jump on if you want, or unless you blocked. You might have blocked me by now because you're so big time. But if you're still there, jump in. All right, play it.
Okay, here we go. This is the brilliant moment that YetiCast caught.
I like this picture. Who was the woman in the Mandalorian? What did she do? She liked something?
She was a Nazi.
Oh, that's different, right? I'm thinking, well, she's not.
She's a white. She's involved in white supremacy.
You're calling her.
She's called other people Nazis.
Right.
It's like she's calling. I love this guy, by the way, Nick Gillespie. He's the guy who called out Rachel Maddow. Like you can a few years ago. Like 10. No, I'm not kidding. Like Rachel Maddow to her face said, like, you shouldn't be so partisan to her face. And that's something that I'm going to go into detail on for this week of bullshit.
He actually looks like Dr. Oz.
In this, it's so weird. But no, Nick Gillespie, like he's really funny. He's been
around for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been on Bill Maher's show. This is the first time he's been on in a long time, in a very long time.
Yeti, I left you in there so you can jump on if there's an opening. Jump in, man.
Jump in, my man.
I wasn't sure if I could jump on any show. Nowadays, for this week, I guess you can.
Yeah. Now that you're big time, God, why would I stop you? That's a joke. Lasso of Truth, $5. See you later, panel and chat. Going to watch Godzilla versus Kong now. I love chatting about Westeros stuff. Enjoy the rest of your stream. Lasso of Truth, becoming one of my biggest supporters in the last few months. Love you. Take care. We'll see you very soon, buddy. All right. So let's play this bad boy.
I love Lasso.
Yeah, Lasso. Lasso's awesome.
Yeah. Again, 1.1 million views. Fuck yes. YetiCast, get the fuck on here.
Which is the Nazi?
Okay, everyone's a Nazi now.
Yeah.
She does hang with white supremacists.
It's like a Mel Brooks.
She does?
Just stop it there. How does she know this? Like
there's a couple things in that like 2-second clip.
Spoiler, Scott, she doesn't.
Well, that's the thing. Like, is Ben Shapiro a white supremacist? Because they're going to be confused. What up, YetiCast?
Hey, how's it going?
Blow him the fuck up right now. He's blown the fuck up.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Woo-hoo!
Yeah. Where are you at right now, brother? Where's your sub count?
It's just around 900. YouTube just like erased a whole bunch from me.
They do that. You might get them back. Yeah, you might get them back. Don't believe that though. It might come back.
No. Here's the thing. Once you cross 1,000, this is what happened to me too. Hashtag me too. Not really though. So once you cross that line though, what happened was I lost 70 subscribers for no reason. And then I had to get it back up again. And it's not a big deal. It happens to everybody nowadays. Yep. So don't worry about it. Your subs are going to come.
Yeah.
The only thing is make a freaking... All right, shut up, you fucking motorcyclist.
What he's trying to say is jump on this and make a video every hour if you can.
And create a playlist for your videos so everybody can watch them and enjoy them all the time on a continuous perpetual loop.
Oh yeah, I do have a full playlist, and then there's the play all button. I started doing that for myself because I am way behind in the watch hours.
The difficult part is something that you're going to get very soon is the subscriber count. But the thing that you can control, and everyone else in the audience can control, is the watch hours. That's the easy part. You have accomplished most of the hard part. So
Yeah,
Don't
like
worry
for
about that.
put it this way, Yeti, for my good friend Finaldeathstar and his show Enter the Unfamiliar, what I've been doing is I think I'm on like 68 hours of just watching him straight. So, you know, that's how you roll. People help each other out. That's what happened. People help me out. I mean, you'll get 1,000 in less than a week watch hours if you know, you jump on a stream with other people, and we'll support that too. So the minute you hit 1,000, I'll start pumping that out too. I'll start doing that earlier if you need me to.
Yep. And here's the thing for transparency, just in case YouTube is watching, and they should, because this is an amazing show. And you should give Sporking News podcast a big raise.
Hold on. Yeah, that's the man right there. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. I just wanted to tell you that. Okay, back to everybody else. No, I was giving you props, man, for saying nice things about me. Yeah, geez, no one.
And I will give you one last piece of advice: make your AdSense account now.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so I went to try to do that, and then it kept bounced me back to YouTube itself, and then there was no place for it.
Well, that's one thing that we're going to have to talk about off air. For sure, because that's something that we can all help you out on. But in terms of this, you actually sent me an extended clip of this, which I'm very thankful of. I can't really reach it right now, but we're just going off the clip that you had made. And by the way, 1 million views. Fuck yes.
Yeah, dude, like I didn't realize when I responded to you, like, what are you talking about type thing? Like, what am I missing? I didn't realize you're the one who did this.
Oh, shit. I thought you were just messing with me.
No, I didn't, because I've been out of the loop. One of my kids has coronavirus. I've been doing a lot of other things. Like, I didn't know. Like, dude, I am so happy for you. This is awesome, man. Good for you.
Yeah. And then I spent the last 2 days dropping my channel link into every blue check mark that shared it. Like, okay, here we go. If it's, if I shared it, I thought I was allowed to do that,
No, definitely, dude.
I mean, like who did it? Like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin.
I
mean, like whether you
Ben
like
Shapiro.
him or not, like that's a good thing to. Ben Shapiro retweeted you.
Oh yeah, and Jeremy Boring,
and on top of that, Gina Carano herself retweeted.
Oh, Gina Carano! How could I forget that?
Wait, who else did that we're missing?
Oh, there's more. Okay, there's people at the Blaze and Fox News. That was the thing.
That's awesome, dude. Could I just jump in real quick? Just wait a minute, real quick. Pop Culture you are now at 92 because I just subscribed. So he needs 8 more to reach 100 subs. If we could do that in today's panel, I would love it. I'm going to share his link right now. So if you are not subscribed to this man who has you have some videos, he has some videos, so he's getting going. Let's help each other out, right, people? All right, jump back into your conversation.
He definitely needs to put it in his Twitter bio. I keep meaning to tell him because it's not there. I went to subscribe a couple times, like I don't know where to find it.
Yep.
So do that because other people are thinking the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a good dude.
What up, Agent? All right. So so you did this. You put this out here. This is your video with 1.1 million views.
Yeah.
That's freaking amazing. That's amazing. And how did we all miss this though? How did everybody miss this?
That's what my question was, because I didn't think I could be the only one that stumbled across this. It seemed like something that everybody would be doing, and then sometimes I'm living under a rock and don't hear about things.
Right.
So I just put it out there, like, okay, why is no one talking about this?
Amazing.
That is so.
It speaks to the viewership of his show, is what that speaks to, actually.
No. That's not it. It's like
okay,
right? No, that's not. That doesn't speak to that, because I've watched. Bill Maher. I've watched it religiously almost for 3 years, and recently I don't subscribe to HBO Max, and it's been hard for me to watch the full episodes. Otherwise, I would have caught on to this too. But I'm so happy that YetiCast did it, because now I don't have to. It means less work for me. But the thing is, I felt the exact same way when nobody noticed like a cut of Back to the Future Part 2. I know this was like a year ago.
Oh yeah, that was you, right?
Yeah, it was.
Way to
it was,
steal
it was
Yeti
not
Cast
me.
Thunder.
No. Hold on. It was not me. It was not me. It was Salty Nerd who pointed it out and said it in our group chat, and I.
You're just
immediately.
freaking. Oh,
I immediately was like, "No, my gosh, I have to see this!" And I like looked on Netflix because I had that subscription, and just screen captured the thing, and I said like, "Oh my god, like this is you're not kidding." I love Back to the Future. It's my favorite movie. So. And nobody was talking about it. You look up Back to the Future Netflix, and nothing was coming up. It was just like, oh, all these great movies are going to come out on this platform. It's just like, including Back to the Future trilogy. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, no one is saying anything about it.
That was a big thing.
And with YetiCast, with Yeti, this is different though. This is different because people did not talk about it for a week and a half. And he is the one who, talked about this for the first time. Just said like, hey, this is a thing, guys. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Anybody home?
But let me cut you off. I'm sorry, but let me ask Culture. What were you before, Justin cut you off? What were you trying to say though? Because I kind of want to hear that.
I am so sorry.
No. Don't worry about it, man. I cut everybody off.
It speaks to his audience. It means that almost all of us, even though this is what we do for, entertainment purposes and to entertain others, it speaks to the fact that none of us saw this. And there was a time that I watched this show amongst other things, and his previous show I appreciated a lot more, but it just speaks to his dwindling audience. And there are metrics to bear that out, that the numbers for his show and many of the other regular shows that recur on HBO proper have been losing viewership. So that's what that speaks to. Anyway, that was all.
Yeah. Well, I tend to agree with that because if they had higher viewership, I think this would have been news.
Well, because he's a fraud, man. And I'm sorry. That's how I feel. He, what he said pre this past election, and now all of a sudden he's on the other side of it, almost like a libertarian. Like, come on, man. Like these people are all trying, Sarah Silverman, they're all realizing they went way too far and they're trying to bring everybody back to center. And once you went over that tipping scale, you went over the tipping scale. Everybody on both sides are nuts right now. What are you going to do? And his viewership does suck. So,
and it's hard to respect it too.
Yes. You reap what you sow.
Yeah, reap what you sow. Like for me, I guess in regards to, sorry, Jessica, I was just going to say, in regards to Bill Maher, I know he tends to kind of flip-flop and kind of, call it the cancel culture and stuff. But I lost respect. I had no respect for Bill Maher after what he said about Stan Lee on his passing. Basically, blaming him, basically saying blaming comics for, Trump getting into office.
Which is ridiculous. Which is freaking ridiculous. So let's play this clip because we didn't even get to it. And Yeti, maybe afterwards, just like really, what did you think when you first heard it? And I feel like I'm interviewing you, but really, like, what did you think like when you first heard it and realized no one else had heard it? So let's back it up just a little bit, play it, and we'll come back to you, everybody.
All right. How much should I back up? Like. Here.
That's great. I just put like percentage sign, more subs needed. I meant 5. He needs 5 more subs. Pop Culture needs 5 more subs. Please make sure you guys support him. And real quick, my good friend Orville Nation, who he knows why I'm going to say this, man. That text, thank you. Reaching out meant a lot to me, man. You don't even know. Orville Nation for $10. The only news I watch is Sporking news because he's smart. And he's a good looking man. Thank you. All right. So let's play it.
That wasn't mocking. I was just
was that actually in the thing?
I don't know. You could play it now though, Justin. Thank you for laughing though. It was funny.
No.
And could we get Thomas to 700? He only needs 100 more subs. Come on. Congratulations on 600, Thomas. You rock, dude.
All right, let's go.
Okay, everyone's a Nazi now.
He does hang with white supremacists.
It's like a Mel Brooks.
He does?
Yeah.
hangs with white.
I suppose I'm now subject to defamation.
I don't know. I mean, it
yes.
depends on what your definition of white supremacist is. That also, the goalpost there changed a lot. Used to be a guy in a Klan hood who.
But I think
Now
we
it's a-
have to. I think we have to be really careful. There's two things the Republicans think they're going to get Biden on.
Okay, so she says we have to be very careful. Yes, she says this bullshit.
She's not. She's not.
Yeah.
Cancel culture and this whole Dr. Seuss stuff that's going on, where they're reading Green Eggs and Ham, proving that some of these senators can actually read.
Trying to be funny because she's on
Right.
Bill Maher's
Give her
show.
that. You know, and going after senators, that was her thing. You know, she was a senator. She could pull that. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah, she was
And
replaced
the-
by a Republican, by the way.
Exactly. She's bitter.
I didn't even know that Democrats existed in North Dakota.
and
Thank you, audience.
immigration. And so we can't ignore the fact that we got Donald Trump was in part because of political
Oh my
correctness.
God.
I mean, you did a whole show called
I like this.
Yeah. That was the short clip. I know.
Yeah, that's a short one.
Yeah, that's a short. There's a longer one that goes on a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But oh my
So
God.
what did you know? I know why, but what did you take out of that, Yeti? Because a lot of people, there were some people that are like, I didn't see what she really said wrong.
Oh,
What?
come on.
God, what?
Really?
There's no way that you could take that away. Like she's calling her a white supreme, and I'm gonna try and not use the buzzwords because I know they're bad with YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, saying white supreme isn't gonna make it any better.
Look, no one's watching my channel. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
No,
the
but
people
okay.
who are, we thank you, and you should
Yes, of course.
continue to like and
Share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Thank you.
But yeah, just the way that she was so flippantly using Nazi and white supremacist, and then backing up the first statement with the second.
That's what got me. Yeah.
There's a point. If she said, "Oh, she's a Nazi," that probably could have been blown off. It still would have looked bad,
Right.
but she's on a comedy show. I mean,
She's trying
people
to
do
be
consider
funny.
him.
Right.
Yeah, she's trying to be funny, but then she backs it up. Like, okay, there's no longer a joke here,
Right.
and
Because
she-
it wasn't Yeti also, it wasn't that she just backed it up. She said she hangs with white supremacists, and then she goes, no, she does. Like she was, this isn't a joke. This is me telling you she hangs with whites. That's the part that got me.
Yes.
Is that she like, no, this ain't a joke. She doesn't say that, but she implies like, no, she really does.
Yeah, because
no, she didn't imply. She said it straight up.
Yeah,
and this is the kind of thing that they say at a cocktail party. If, like, for God's sake, it's like she's like, "Oh, I'm talking with friends. I can say this out loud," and she feels comfortable saying this, which is even weirder. It's
yeah.
Well, and then she goes on. This was the next part that really infuriated me because she goes on to talk about how cancel culture is dangerous and we need to stop doing this to each other while also stepping on Gina Carano's neck.
Right.
She's upholding the cancel culture of Gina Carano with verifiable incorrect statements.
Wow.
and
Really
saying
good way
it's
of putting
bad.
it. Really good way of putting it. Because think about it. She also she thought it was low hanging fruit. She thought it was low hanging fruit. Like Gina Carano right now is the person we can all attack, because who's defending her? She got fired from Disney. Yeah, she's over at Daily Wire, but who's going to defend her? Gina's a fighter, man. Like she picked the wrong woman to attack, and
she did,
and not do it in a true comedic way. Like she made a statement and then backed that statement up.
Yeah,
at least that's what I see. That's what I see.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like you're doing it to be funny. Well, where's the joke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
well,
perfect.
and then the jokes she tried to put in there that, Republicans can't read. Like, okay, come on, you didn't read Gina Carano's post then,
You didn't read Gina's post. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because if she did, she would see that exact statement has been echoed by other historical places. Again, I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I don't want to screw everyone, but it was echoed by historical museums. Everything that Gina said was factual.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's very true, man. You don't have to agree with her point of view and her statement, but you can't say she made a clear statement to me. And the statement was, if you don't know your past, you're bound to relive it.
To repeat it.
And I truly believe she had a valid point. And I think Ben Shapiro said it best. He doesn't like anybody using the Holocaust to make a point, but he understood why she did. And that's why he called her, But again, these are the same people that attack him, calling him a white supremacist. So, I mean, come on, they're nuts. They're nuts. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And I'm just glad I was able to make a couple lucid comments while I'm on here. I had like 4 hours of sleep last night.
Hey man, that's awesome. I'm just glad you came on. Lady Tauriel, my good friend, is at 224 right now. Because guys, don't forget, YouTube likes to unsubscribe people. This is the second time I've had to subscribe to her. She knows I've been subscribed to her, and I just had to resubscribe. So this is somebody I keep an eye on because she's a friend of mine, and she's on my panels every once in a while on Monday nights when she can make it. And they do it. It's not like the person's been gone for months, and that's why they do it. They just, arbitrarily just get rid of you. And I don't understand that. So please make sure your favorite content creators, you guys are still subscribed to.
I've had mods for my channel that were unsubscribed.
Right.
They told me that. Like, they are my mods. How would they get unsubscribed? They come to the show every week. And
that's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Well, Lady Tauriel for $5. You didn't have to do that. She's also a member of the channel. Hi all. Wow, I made it to a Wednesday night dump. I'm 23 away from 250. Now you are only 21 away. Shameless plug. So I am putting her YouTube channel in the link. Please guys, make sure to go over there and sub her. She's awesome. And if you like A Song of Ice and Fire, she has some of the best takes. For someone who just started reading it back in April, she has some of the best takes I've ever heard. So please check her out.
Just real quick, I gotta go. But thank you for having me on.
No, anytime, Justin. You're invited anytime, man. If I have room, you are open, dude. So
I appreciate this. I'm not gonna say anything about myself. The only thing that I do have to say is
at least 10 minutes doing that.
Fuck you.
Wow.
I'm trying to do something selfless, like for one thing, and you just have to throw it out the goddamn window.
Go ahead. Do something selfless.
Subscribe to YetiCast. Watch all of his videos in perpetuity. The subscribers are going to be there, but you guys have to keep watching his videos in order for him to get the point where he deserves. He deserves to finally be monetized, like he's proven himself. Very much so. He's a good guy. But for Yeti, for you yourself, you're a great kid, but don't get cocky. Goodbye.
That just happened. Nice.
Yeah.
Way to go out. That was a way to drop out of it, man.
That was good.
I love Justin. He's a good dude. He really is, and he is a talent scout for all of us.
He really is.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, you've now had YetiCast on your channel 10 minutes longer than I was allowed to. So, you're
Well, you have to send me an invite, Culture. That's all I'm saying.
I can't do much. I've probably had YetiCast on longer and more times.
I know. Everybody's better than me. I know.
You know what? I'm just saying.
You know what? Justin might have, he might be the talent scout, but I'm the one that has certain people on my streams and then they blow up. So, a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there.
I don't know that you want to brag on that.
No. Let them blow up.
People want to live long. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. I don't want to. Yeah. That's, valid point. No, nobody blow up. No. Okay. So Gina, I'm going to find this article really quick. I got excited to look at that one. You guys still keep speaking about this one because I have to find it. It's talking about Gina firing back. So just give me 1 second, everybody.
Okay.
Culture talk.
Oh, sure. Yeti Cast is a lot of fun to hang out with. I like it when he gets to be on my channel. I really enjoy watching him and my buddy Paulie talk about films that you never ever want to watch because because the times that I've been on the show, I was forced to watch like The Legendary Trail. That movie's never going to leave my psyche. I don't. Have you seen that, Nick?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
you should.
Probably won't ever.
You don't.
No, don't listen to that. Watch it.
It was so bad. Mickey Rourke at one point is wearing like amazingly manicured nails that weren't possible in the time that we were watching this film that supposedly is like a history piece. And on top of that, he has like fake eyelashes that are like 3 feet long, and he's wearing an eye patch. Now, the eye patch is apparently just for decoration because it like halfway through the movie, he just like picks it up and puts it on top of his head. He's got both eyes there. It was just nuts.
It's so true. This is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll try to control myself.
No,
every single time I hear you describe this, I can't control.
It's just bad. And then so like he's talking to a marble bust. Like every scene he's in, he's talking to a marble bust, like just the head.
Oh god. Yeah, and then he's got some 20-year-old Chinese girlfriend in the background that comes over and like strokes him.
What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah.
Help me out.
Trail.
The what?
The Legionary Trail, or the Legion.
The Legion.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Is one of those movies?
That is a film to lose friends by.
That's great. That is great.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So we have this one we're going to read. Culture, do you mind if I share it? Maybe
sure.
Doing a little reading?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
I love having you read. So hold on one second.
Well, reading is fundamental.
It is. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Gina Carano hits back at Heidi Heitkamp over Nazi comment.
By Emma Nolan. All right.
Gina Carano has responded to former U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp after the politician labeled the actress as a Yahtzee on a talk show. Heitkamp served as a U.S. Senator from North Dakota from 2013 to 2019. She made a March 19 appearance on an episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, where the topic of Carano's firing from Disney show The Mandalorian was raised. On the topic of cancel culture, the host mused, "I don't want to talk about cancel culture and this nonsense every week, but I just don't think people understand how much this is a tsunami and how fast the goalposts change almost on a weekly basis."
Real quick, when was your tweet put out? Did he leave?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
He said be right back. It was just recent though, the last couple days, right?
Yeah,
It was the last 4 or 5 days. Sure.
Okay, so it's been like a week since this episode has been out.
Yeah.
I just want to know, I haven't seen anybody say, YouTuber Yeti Cast put out, like they should be giving props.
Is a matter of fact, what's the byline on this? What was the date on the byline? The 30th. So they grabbed this where everybody else grabbed this, which would have been the bird dogging that Yeti Cast did. So anyway, when the conversation turned to Carano's high-profile termination from her role in the Disney Plus hit, Heitkamp suggested that she was fired because she was a Yahtzee.
There was no suggested about it.
Yeah, it wasn't suggested. Before adding, she does hang with white burrito supremes. Following some questions from Mar, Heitkamp explained, "I suppose I'm now subject to defamation now. But
Yes,
we really have to be careful." Now, see how there's a pause thing there? That's not kind of what happened, but okay, Newsweek. Anyway, but we really have to be careful. But we have to be really careful. There's two things the Republicans think they're going to get Biden on: cancel culture and this whole Dr. Seuss stuff that's going on, where they're reading Green Eggs and Ham, proving that some of these senators can actually read, and immigration.
Condescending
Carano
font.
has now responded on Twitter. Here we have more of the dehumanizing phase of cancel culture, the former MMA athlete tweeted. Repeat lies over and over until the population takes them as truth. False, disturbing, and disgusting language come from a former U.S. senator at Heitkamp.
Well put, too. Well put. Because that's what it is.
Yep.
You keep saying a lie long enough, it becomes reality. And in this social media world, it becomes reality much faster. And that's the scary thing.
And this is that. Right. Yeah. And that's like why I called out that filthy human, Dr. Aslan. He's a doctor of, I don't know, like dirt or something. But anyway, he made a lie, and then later on, he in the same, I guess, what do you call it, thread, far down in that thread, has thousands of likes and retweets, says, "Oh, I was wrong." He doesn't delete the tweet and recant what he said. He does it further on, and then he plays victim, the rest of the time. I am sick and tired of these people. And you know what? They should be subject to in writing slander, in speech libel, and they held to it. At this point, I think should be, a way to go after them.
Right. And I like it right here. There it is. YetiCast. Gina Carano retweeting him. It made it to Newsweek. Wow. That's awesome.
Yep. And very much so. Yep. You knew as soon as you said it, you were liable. 100%. She added. 100. That YetiCast is a she?
No, that's Gina, right?
Oh, okay. I was like going, what?
Yeah, no. Gina.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. All right. Carano was at the center of a media frenzy in February this year when she was dropped from the sci-fi series over an offensive Instagram post. No, that was not offensive at all. Carano, a vocal Donald Trump supporter. I don't think
she is.
No, she's not.
Came under heavy criticism after posting the offensive Instagram post that compared how Republicans are treated in America to the treatment of Jewish people in Nazi Germany. It wasn't directly what she did, but okay. Yeah. Again, nuance lost on Newsweek. There you are. This is the news media for you kids. I did a video about them today. It's a lot of fun. The post in question read, and by the way, I think this was a screenshot of something that she posted.
It was just a screenshot.
Yeah. Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jewish folks, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jewish. Now, how is this any different from hating someone for their political views?
Can't that go... Well, let me ask you, can't that go both ways? Like political views, is that automatically Republican?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, and that shouldn't be. People assumed her politics, right? It's like assuming her gender.
Exactly. Wait a minute.
This is, sorry.
I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to show Yeti. You made Newsweek, buddy. Look at that. You made Newsweek. Look at that. That's awesome. All right.
Newsweek and Fox and Daily Wire, Daily Caller, and I think there was a couple more.
Ride the wave. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Ride the wave.
Red wave. The red wave.
If there are places that you see, send them to me because I'll drop my links under where they mention me. That's what I've been doing.
We got you.
Well, I have to say, so let me wherever. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Her turn. Her termination was announced by Lucasfilm shortly thereafter. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future, which was a lie. A Lucasfilm spokesperson said in a statement, per The Hollywood Reporter. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people, she did not do that, douche knuckle, based on their cultural and religious identities, also something she didn't do,
Where are the receipts?
You're wrong, and unacceptable.
Like,
Also wrong.
Why isn't this slander?
Actually, technically, if it depends on how this was delivered, it could be one or the other. However, this was taken from quote unquote somebody from the inside, and however the statement was delivered, we should actually solicit the Hollywood Reporter to find out who leaked this, so they can be pursued for libel. Otherwise, because they printed it and they won't reveal their source, they could be responsible for slander.
But right here, it's not like a source from Lucasfilm. It's a Lucasfilm spokesperson.
Exactly.
So if it's a spokesperson, we should know that person's name.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Since her Disney termination, Carano has landed a new movie deal with conservative pundit. See how they have to put that in there. Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire.
Yeah. And then they don't say Jewish Ben Shapiro. They just Ben.
But they should, right?
Right. I mean, if they're gonna put focus on everything,
with conservative Jewish pundit Ben Shapiro of the Daily Wire.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how they should have written it. But guess what? Framing yellow journalism, and this is what happens when you get nothing but a monoculture. You get no actual honest information.
Right. Marby Dog puts it perfectly. There's no repercussions for lying anymore. See Amber Heard. Allegedly, but see Amber Heard. He's right. Let's see. All right. And I don't know. Culture, if she fights back, if Gina brings up a lawsuit, when she fights back, she's been fighting back, but I mean, when she brings a lawsuit, do you believe that this could Gina be the end of cancel culture, or at least the tipping point?
Okay, so I watched an amazing video by our friend Jayne Theory, and Jayne's video kind of pointed a lot of this out. And I think it could have a chilling effect on this if somebody can be held, if somebody can be held to the legal standard here, because guess what? This violates the legal standard.
Right.
So, if this is to happen and she is held to the legal standard, then there are financial ramifications and everything else that everybody that does this kind of thing, when they have no proof, receipts, or anything else, can be held responsible as well, including businesses.
Right.
So yeah, they're going to have some real problems.
Yeah. Yeti, you have something you want to share?
Yeah, but I don't think everybody's going to want to see a picture of my penis.
Oh, damn it! Damn it! Nah,
wow.
That's next time. That's next time. I think that's the
that's backstage.
Rogue After Dark.
Oh, save for your OnlyFans.
Right?
I'm sorry. I couldn't help that. It's been a weird couple days, so I'm a little tired. I'm just going off everything that pops in my head now.
Well, you know what, dude? That's good. You should, and I didn't put this. So this next topic real quick, we're going to go over. I didn't put in the description because I was scared that YouTube would shut down this stream. And I don't know if they would, but it worried me. Okay. So this is about one of my favorite YouTubers, a great comedian, Steven Crowder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So YouTube explains why a racist Steven Crowder video. So this is somebody who we already know where they're coming from. A racist Steven Crowder video didn't violate hate speech rules, but he did because he got banned. He got banned for, I don't know if he's back yet. A lot of people are saying he's a year-long suspension for his ads. So let's see if I can find the article I was looking at earlier today, because the weird thing lately is when I look up things about cancel culture on Google, the article you want to read is usually like the third page over, and crazy stuff from like this happened less than a week ago. Some of the first things
in the last 3 days.
Right. And I'm getting stuff on the very top from August 12th, 2020. So,
right. So here's what you do. You get DuckDuckGo.
I do have it. I just don't have it on my new computer yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll take you 15 seconds.
Okay. Hold on. DuckDuckGo. Just went DuckDuckGo it. All right. DuckDuckGo. Okay. Get browser extension.
Yes.
All right. Add to Chrome. All right. Adding.
And Culture's the tech guru.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. All right. Success. Okay. So now I am there. How do I get back to searching? Here we go. Now we'll do it. Steven.
I love this play-by-play of tech issues.
Did I get
Sporking News podcast?
I was like, is this Culture Casino or LDG Pixels?
Sorry. Man.
You know what the funny thing is, though, right away, YouTube has removed Steven Crowder from partner program indefinitely. So the same company, The Verge, who they showed me on Google, a 7-8 month old Steven Crowder one, has one from a day ago. Why didn't they show me that? So that just goes.
You know why?
I do. I know it's rhetorical. It's rhetorical. I just wanted to be that guy. And one of the cool things is I have like 9 tabs open right now, dude. I am such a happy I'm such a happy camper. All right, here we go. YouTube has removed Steven Crowder from its partner program indefinitely. He'll be back in a week, but without YouTube and revenue. So he was actually shut off for a full week. He wasn't allowed to make videos, wasn't allowed to stream. When he went to Crowder Bits to explain what was happening, his other channel, they stopped him there too, which they shouldn't have been able to, because it's a different channel altogether, not doing the same exact things. And it was within the rules, because that's something Steven Crowder prides himself on, is playing within the rules they give him. So they shut that down, that video, but he's going to come back. And once again, after a year of not having ad revenue, and he just recently got it back, they're taking it away again. This is by Sean Hollister. 2 weeks ago, after YouTube revealed its definition of hate speech was so narrow that it couldn't remove a wildly racist tirade from being wildly racist, we wonder out loud what it would take for YouTube to stop promoting conservative commentary Steven Crowder as an official YouTube partner and allowing him to profit from those tirades. Today, we have a partial answer. YouTube has officially suspended Steven Crowder's main channel from the YouTube partner program, definitely, which includes removing his ability to run ads. So I'd like to know what they consider that is wildly racist tirade.
And can I just point out that this is the exact reason why all these places are collapsing right now. There's been a massive layoff of journalists, especially on the tech internet based side. There's been a massive collapse,
right?
And it's because of things like this. The phrasing of it all. They didn't go out and show the clip of what he said. And I'm not defending anything that he said, but show it. Like, show what was there. Because I remember I watched it, and he used the words that other people were using to describe themselves. So I don't know how that can be construed as hateful when that's the same thing. I don't know.
Yep.
Well, are you able to add a bit more to that, or am I looking at this wrong?
No, Culture.
No, you're 100% right. I agree with you. Look, they are afraid of adding context because they can't. This is called framing. It's a form of yellow journalism, and it's there. This is a constant pattern, and when it's a constant pattern, it's also referred to as the magic word gaslighting. And so that's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with these media entities. They are dead set at control. That's all this is. Controlling the thought, controlling the mind, controlling, the narrative, which is why we call it out all the time.
Yes.
It's not a story. It's a narrative. You're telling a narrative. You're not reporting factual information. You're telling a story. And how are you telling a story? By not giving it any context or telling it, you're by only telling it in a way that frames it to whatever your conclusion is. You're not supposed to reach a conclusion in a news story. You're supposed to report and deliver the facts of the situation. And the facts also include the context. And that's, again, why this is all filthy.
Right.
Filthy.
And that's the same thing.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to agree with you, Yeti, that you're 100% right. These news organizations are collapsing into themselves. Like, look at what happened with HuffPost recently, and the fact that Go Media just is falling apart as they accumulate even more of these failing, web garbage tier, news sites. They can't support it. It's why CNN isn't going to be soon releasing staff, which I don't think that's come out in the mainstream yet, but I'm sure it will.
Right.
You're going to start to see additional layoffs because the general public has lost faith in this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And an echo chamber gets freaking boring. So
and what you just described, what you just described is the same thing that happened in that Gina interview. The exact same thing. The woman. Sorry, can't remember her name. The senator, Heidi. She didn't provide any receipts on. Yeah,
no context.
There was no context. It's like, oh, this is who she hangs out with, without saying who that was.
Right.
Because that would have been pretty helpful information. If she actually was hanging out with that type of person, it would be nice to know who they are.
It would have been huge news. It would have been huge news.
Yes, it would have been massive.
Right.
But the fact that it's left out means it's going to be BS. And it's their way of controlling people's thought. It's, you have to believe me because I'm telling the truth. Don't go look for the information yourself.
And if you do, you're a Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because don't forget, Yeti, when you point these people out for their incorrect facts, because really it's not facts, it's their feelings, but they're incorrect facts, they label you because that's what they are. Checkbox prime, baby. Whoever could have the most check boxes, they're going to be the winner. And what they believe is if they put you in the right checkbox, people won't listen to you. Call them a white supremacist, call them a Yahtzee, call them a homophobe, call them,
call them this, that, and the third.
Yeah, whatever, exactly. And if they do it enough, and like you guys, we said before, and they keep repeating it, eventually people will believe the lie. And I have a lot of friends who are very intelligent people, but man, do they fall into that idea of listening to what the commentator tells them and believing it and not doing some research for themselves. And the Time Prophet said, who the hell is Steven Crowder? Crowder is the type of guy who tells you to research what he's telling you. Find it yourself and make sure he's telling you the truth. Steven Crowder is one of the best and the biggest conservative commentaries out there. He's a comedian, but he's become just massive. His live streams get more, if they did a live stream of like Biden's press conference, they get more views during that live stream than the network media does. And that's why they hate him.
Yeah, it's true. It is so true. Crowder outpaces them every single time he does a stream.
He's so witty, man. He's so quick. And he And he worked his butt off. And anyone who thinks he is, like, they don't know who he is then. You never watch, like, I'm a mug clubber, so I'm definitely leaning to defend Crowder. I will put that out there right now. But even if I wasn't, the reason why I don't see someone who's a racist. I don't see somebody who's, anti-Semitic. I see a comedian that uses non-PC terms to make people laugh. And he does it with the people of that culture. He's not scared to joke with, people of that culture, but those people are also labeled as sellouts and this and that too. Again, call people names, call them it long enough, and people will start believing it.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, Toxic Man Flu. I haven't seen you in a little bit on my stream. I love you, man. $10. I am a Sporking News spokesperson. The rumor of Scott's impotency do not rise to the level of hard evidence Mrs. Sporking has frequently been disappointed by in the past. Did you talk to her? Is she leaking this out to you? You son of a bitch. Thank you, Toxic Man Flu. I appreciate that, man. Let's read on a little bit and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. Where did I leave off? Today we have, we did that part. It's also banning him from uploading videos for a full week after his latest infraction, and now removed videos that reportedly challenge the legitimacy of the vote in Nevada. Okay. This one is what really upsets me.
With evidence.
And he played within their rules. He played within their rules. You can't. Okay, YouTube says you can say there could be some issues with the voting system. There might have even been issues in this election, but you can't say it's widespread and this and that because they'll hit you for that. So without evidence, he went out to Nevada with a couple different commentators going to addresses that were put out in the public on the Nevada County, whatever county it was in, website of registered voters. And they went to the addresses these people put as their address when they voted. And they were like the median in the street, under a bridge, parking lot.
That's the video that got him?
That's one of the videos. They took that down.
I did not know. So I know I watched that one, and he went out of his way to make sure that he wasn't breaking any rules.
Exactly.
Like, he filmed it himself, or one of his employees.
Physically. He had to make sure physically somebody was on site. Yeah. They had a newspaper showing the date. Like, he made sure he followed all their rules, and they still, because he knows how to play within the rule book, and they keep moving the goalpost on the guy, and this is the most blatant one I think they've done.
It's
go ahead.
Sad. I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
I just find it sad and discouraging that this is a place that we're moving to, because I don't want to go to an area where there's so little free expression. Like, I don't agree with everything Crowder does. I've watched some of this stuff. Some of it I find really funny. Other things, like, oh, okay, it didn't hit with me. That's cool.
That's comedy.
Yeah, that's comedy. I know some of my jokes don't land with people.
Right.
But I don't want him taken off. Like, there needs to be balance.
Right. Freedom of speech, man. Freedom of speech.
And just like the other side, because I don't want the other side to be removed either, because then the pendulum is going to swing so hard that the backlash is going
it'll be ugly.
Yes, it will get so ugly.
And they don't realize that. Something a teacher told me once about freedom of speech when we were going over American history. You never want to put limitations on freedom of speech, and they'll say, well, there already are. Yeah, you can't scream fire in a theater, you can't threaten people, understand. But I want to hear your beliefs. I want to hear your political views. If you're a racist, I want to know this, because then I can make my own decisions on, okay, this guy's an idiot. But if you don't have the right to say it, I could be sitting right next to the Grand Poobah, the Ku Klux Klan, and not even know it. But because you give them the freedom of speech, I learn, and I could either debate them or walk away. It's up to me.
Well, and there's the other option of showing counterfacts to prove them wrong.
Right.
If they're completely removed, you're not allowed to show them information that will lead them to being or show them that they are incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have them there so that there's a discussion, and sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Yes.
Exactly.
Unless Trump says that. Says that.
But if they're underground, they gain more steam because there is no pushback. There is pushback when they're wide open on the platform. But as soon as it's underground,
too, isn't there?
Sorry,
what's that, Nick? Say that again.
There's that saying: "Vice can't survive in the light."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You're
Yeah,
so
you have
the
to
way
talk
you say.
about it,
I'm
else it'll
sorry,
just go underground.
Nick. The way you say stuff, it just sounds so cool every time you talk. So
It's the old saying: when you cut off a man's tongue, you're not just giving him taking him his way to speak. It shows that you're afraid of what he might say.
well, and that's it. Yeah. Go ahead, Nick, please.
Yeah, no, I agree with McCabe there. Absolutely. You know, you're not just forbidding people from talking, you're also forbidding people from listening.
Right. And that's the important thing. They're so scared that the other side, like someone like Crowder or somebody, you know, that is a little more conservative, even in their own party, a little more conservative than them. They're so scared of allowing those people to speak because I think they realize that once people start hearing, hey, you're not a victim. Hey, you could work hard and make it in America. America's still here. The dream is still alive. The world is a great place. We don't have to be afraid of everybody, but we don't have to take shit from everybody. They might start realizing, holy crap, I rather believe that than I am a victim. The world owes me everything. I don't need to work, and you should give me whatever I want.
Exactly. It's I hate lumping this. I don't want to lump this kind of thing with race, but it's part of that whole why I don't subscribe to the, you know, black identity, as you would call it. You know, that kind of mindset. I don't subscribe to that, and I see that in my own race a lot of times. And we've seen that in public with the, you know, and stuff like that. It's just I don't think of myself as a victim. I think I agree with everything he pretty much said. I believe 100% that you can make it in this country, that you can make it in the world, you can make it anywhere, that you're not a victim, that you can do whatever you can, and nobody's going to hold you back, and don't let people hold you back.
Yeah.
Don't blame other people for your mistakes. And
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Point fingers, right? Make sure you guys point fingers. And
always pointing fingers. It's an economy.
Yep.
The whole victim narrative, it's an economy at this point.
Absolutely
people
right.
Make money. People are basically making money off of playing a victim.
Yep. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. This is not like a conservative versus anybody who considers themselves a victim. You're giving up. You're allowing somebody to tell you how to live. Because once you I love saying this, suckle off the teat of government, they won't want to let you go. That's the truth. Dark Shadow Logan, I love this. Also, quarterback Garrett is part of the Crowder team, which, dude, if I could ever somehow whisper into Gary's ear to get quarterback on this stream, I would die. Because quarterback, man, he's there. He's in it. Like he sees the battles these guys must go through to get their content out. The having, you know, the half Asian lawyer, Bill Richmond.
Bill Richmond.
Yep. I said it right this time, on retainer at all times, you know, part of the show now because of this. It's crazy. And, you know, agree with Crowder or not, that's for another topic. But freedom of speech, anyone who believes in people's rights should realize that what they're doing is definitely anti-freedom. Let's just put it that way.
And
yeah, go ahead.
That, you know, I understand, and I don't, and I guess I'm probably not somebody who believes in absolute freedom, because I do think there's same things that, you know, you can't really say, but for stuff like what Crowd is doing, that's not one of them.
Right. Yep. You're right. You're absolutely right. Here, let me just read some more of this and we'll see if it takes us anywhere. And I don't know if this is a topic people want to hear in the chat, but I think it's important because we are on this platform and it's not who it happened to, but what happened.
And the thing is that it's just what we're seeing now is the concept of truth is just becoming destroyed. Like it's becoming censored. Like if you bring the truth out, you know, it gets censored basically.
Right. Well, that's the sad thing.
It's not more than just truth, but if you're actually doing research, if you're actually looking it up, it's being so discouraged nowadays.
But it is the truth. That's the thing that is very frustrating with all of this going on. You could show factual information, have all the data to back it up, and if you are lined up in any way, they will dismiss it. It's anti-science. Science used to mean, checking your own conclusions. It's always going back and checking the work to make sure that you got to the right conclusion, work out any different kinks. It wasn't this set in stone.
It's just like math. It's just like growing up. Learning how to do math in school. Always check your answers.
Yeah. But now, don't forget, now it's racist to believe in science. I mean, I've seen that in articles. So, I mean, we have another article about the kid who was suspended for saying a man is a man and a woman is a woman from a college. Suspended.
The people who say that, it's that whole critical race theory, and I don't want to go into it. The old concept of race realism, where that it's only like white or Asians being this smart because of genetics or because of race, and you think that black people can't be smart.
Which is dumb.
It's so insulting.
Yeah, exactly.
It is incredibly insulting.
Yeah, I didn't get those smart genes, so I'm pissed off. Dark Shadow Logan says, keep in mind, after Crowder, then it will be Tim Pool, then Nerdrotic, and so on until they get rid of us all. And that's what scares me. And that's why I'm reading this article. Because, yes, you don't have to agree with Crowder. You don't have to like Crowder. And even Crowder says this about people that are very liberal. He says, I might not like them, but they have a right to say what they want to say. We have to hear both sides. So here's YouTube's statement. Let's read this real quick. In order to monetize on YouTube, channels must comply with the YouTube partner program policies, which includes our community guidelines, Google AdSense program policies, and advertiser-friendly guidelines. And which I try to do here, and I think we all do. Channels that repeatedly violate our policies are suspended from the partner program. In addition, we remove a video from Steven Crowder's channel for violating our presidential election integrity policy and applied a strike, meaning uploads are suspended for 1 week. While YouTube isn't telling us which straw broke the camel's back when it comes to the YouTube partner program, the company did point us towards two specific guidelines around controversial issues and sensitive events and harmful and dangerous acts. I would have guessed that awful racist tirade would have already broken the YouTube partner program's hateful and policy, but I guess I shouldn't read too much into that. I don't know what this person's talking about. It's not the first time Crowder's been removed. Last time it took him just over a year to come back. I don't know what this person's talking about, this tirade. Inexplicable YouTube says extremely racist Steven Crowder video isn't hate speech. Oh God. I don't know. All right, whatever. What do you guys think about it?
It's just, I don't know where it's at tolerate. So he went out and actually looked up, researched it himself, and figured out the conclusions. I don't see how it's a tirade.
I don't either, man.
And you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with it, but I don't see how it's a tirade if you actually looked it up. If you're actually showing yourself actually looking it up, doing the research.
Yeah.
Well, I think the tirade was supposed to go back to Carlos Maza. I think they're trying to tie those things.
Because thing is making a joke about him, something that he makes a joke about every single time.
Yeah.
Well, what he had his own Twitter handle as.
Right, exactly.
It's rules for thee, not for me.
Right. It's the box apocalypse.
Well, that bugs me because comedians aren't allowed to be comedians.
Well, comedians, society's in trouble when satire is being censored, because satire is the last line of defense when it comes to freedom of speech. Comedy is the last line. Comedians should be able to say almost anything. You don't have to agree, you can hate it, but they should be free to say. We should all be.
Well, should be free to say anything. Unless it calls for violence. But when it comes to a comedian, I don't think they're going to be doing that. So
exactly
free to make jokes about every subject, because there's a form of respect behind that. If you are saying this is off the limits, you don't respect it enough to make a joke. It's it's almost this inverse way of looking at things. Like, oh no, they are too soft to handle what you're going to say. You know, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
No, it's the soft bigotry, low expectations.
Yes.
It's knowing, they know that the audience can easily be manipulated. So listening to having Crowder say stuff, and they know how influential to people like Crowder can be, because if they, they speak out stuff, they talk about, their truths, what they're seeing. They know how well that the human mind can easily be turned.
Yep. Real quick.
So this is all about power.
No, let me
power control. Sorry.
Let me interrupt because Culture needs to bounce out. He's old and he needs to recharge. And I respect that, man. I'm sorry if we've gone on topics that people feel a little uncomfortable. I feel I want to speak about everything on this stream. So I've tried so hard to, I'm not talking about you, Culture. I know you'll talk about it. I tried so hard to make this just a lighthearted. I can't, dude. When I see something that affects me, I want to talk about it. So I hope this great chat and my great subscribers understand that. I think they do, and that's why they follow us. And I really appreciate that. But yeah, why don't you let them know where they can find you? And then I would love Nick to let me, explain this little line here because I think it's fantastic. Go right ahead, bud.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on, Scott. I appreciate it. I'm willing to talk about just about everything, but I am out of gas and I need to eat. So thank you for having me on. Everybody, be sure to subscribe all of these wonderful panelists, including Scott, and even Justin Proper, even though he's almost always wrong.
Right.
Except when it comes to talent on YouTube. So it's good hanging out with everybody here. I hope you all have a great night. Hope to see you on, whatever Wednesday or at, pretty much anywhere else on YouTube. Everybody have a great night. See you later.
Hey, are those bunny shoes?
Sure.
Are those their bunnies? I think that's hilarious. All right, buddy. Love you, man.
See the infidel in the fireplace?
Yeah, I do. That's great.
See you guys. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Later, buddy.
Much love.
All right. So
even his pictures have nice hair.
I know. Gorgeous hair. Gorgeous hair. Nick, was this the one we're talking about?
Yep, that's the one.
All right. So
it was just to do with the previous conversation about victimhood and whatnot, and how as you can see, it says, when it comes to the rules of narrative, the fairy tale always wins. And this was in particular reference to the whole Camilla Parker Bowles, Prince Charles, Diana hoo-ha that went on. And I think it actually pertains to a lot of things going on nowadays, where in the, the affair that went on with Prince Charles, Camilla, and Diana was, or would have been rather, received as a victim. Because she's the one who's, really popular. She's the one who's doing everything right by the public. And were Charles to come out and openly admit that he's, sleeping around with Camilla, it would have only enhanced that fairy tale, as it were. She would have been wronged in this. She's the good wife who'd been wronged by, was it the other woman, etc., etc. And I really do think this pertains to what's going on right now regarding victimhood culture and how it can actually be a currency of sorts.
Yeah. No, that's
and because and the need for people to portray themselves as victims. Because as you can see with the line, it's the fairy tale prevails. They are the what do you call it, the princess in the tower or the knight trying to slay a dragon.
Right.
It's become a form of currency almost.
Yeah.
You've got victim points, and that allows you to be above others. I am this type of victim, so therefore I am better. And
exactly.
It's disturbing that that's where we're going, and people want that, like, they actively try to become one.
Well, that's why checkbox prime is my new thing. There's going to be one person that checks so many boxes that they will be considered checkbox prime, and they're the only one that can cancel the world, because that's where we're going. Everybody has to be. You have to be labeled. Everyone has to be labeled.
I think there was this hilarious. I completely forget who said it, but regarding the oppression Olympics. I saw that. It's a race to the bottom.
Yep. Can I just read this? Because this breaks my heart, and I love Toxic Man Flu. Toxic Man Flu for $20, man. Thank you so much. Know why I joke all the time? Because I'm distraught. They are doing and saying exactly what those who exterminated entire peoples did, almost word for word. I see only one way out: violence, and it makes me cry. You know, I understand that. I really do, and I think the important thing is people like us not stopping to speak, not ringing it out. And that's why I don't shy away from topics like this on this channel. And I've had people that literally unsubscribed me because I went too political. Well, I'm a human being. Like, I'm not all just comic books and movies, you know, like I believe that we need to defend freedom. And I think that's really important. And I think a lot of people in the chat and on the panel, we feel the same way. And we got to be willing to speak out. And if that means, you know, I get kicked off of Twitter or, you know, kicked off of YouTube, and I know in my heart that I am, trying to do the right thing, then it was worth it. It was worth it.
Don't kick me off. No.
Yeah.
I'm almost at 1,000. Don't kick me off.
Yeah. At least let the poor guy hit 1,000. Come on.
Let's let Yeti find another thing that goes viral before you kick him off. Come on.
Yeah.
One more. Yeah.
Because he's killing it right now.
I'm gonna make a comic. That's something in the works. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah. See, it's in the works. Let's do it then. And this goes to another topic I was, not knowing if I wanted to bring up, but someone put it in our dump chat, and we're not going to read the whole article, but students suspended for saying a man is a man and a woman is a woman, reinstated by the university. So the thing that got me, and this is Jennifer Cabany, what gets me is this part. So, where is it? The Instagram, which Steven starts in part. So it's from, they suspended him from an Instagram video. All right. So it wasn't even something he did at school. A student who was suspended from his public university education program for an Instagram video in which he stated a man is a man and a woman is a woman has been reinstated. So he was, give it to him for reinstating him. They're probably forced to, but, that's what scares me even more. It's the idea of how powerful social media is, where it can affect your real life. People get canceled. And when I mean canceled, their home and professional lives destroyed. And this kid almost lost a college experience, a degree. That blows my mind. And this is what he said real quick. We'll just say, and then we can discuss if you guys want to, or we can move on. But in the video, he says, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. And this is not me saying it, YouTube. This is the kid. A woman is a woman. A man is not a woman, and a woman is not a man. A man cannot become a woman, and a woman cannot become a man. If I am a man and I think I am a woman, I am still a man. If I am a woman who thinks I am a man, I am still a woman. Regardless of what you feel on the inside is irrelevant to your biological status. It doesn't change the biology. Now, okay, I understand what he's trying to say here, the biology, the science of it. Yes, when, 10,000 years from now, archaeologists find our bones, they're going to look either for male or female. I understand that, but I'm sorry, I do fall in the lines. If someone, if someone's born a man, but they feel like a woman and they want to, when they're legally of age, 18 or older, and they want to transition, who am I to tell them they can't? Like, I know one of my best friends is non-binary something, and he knows I never get it right, and he doesn't hold it against me. But he came out at like 45, and all I said to him was, "What do you want me to call you? If I slip, I'm sorry." And he No, I know you mean well. Don't worry about it. So that's the kind of conversation we had. It was not a big deal. But how does this get somebody suspended, man?
Okay, I can say it easily. I can give you one example that can give you a reason why saying something like that could get him suspended. J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
So let me explain. So
yeah, please explain.
There's a thing in Harry Potter, and Warner Brothers is they're trying to get back into Harry Potter and people are throwing a fit at every single thing that is announced in regards to Harry Potter because it's tied to J.K. Rowling.
Right. These are
tied to J.K. Rowling.
And real quick, these are the same people that defend I just blanked the director that fled to France.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, Polanski. Right. These are the same people that defend him. Go on. Sorry.
No, these are the same people that defended Roman Polanski. These are probably the same people who probably would stand up for that Netflix film, which should not be named. No, but here's the thing. So what happened was J.K. Rowling, she said that, I think if I remember, it was trans men aren't women or something like that. And it pissed off the entire, LGBT community on Twitter. They have been slandering her, attacking her for years because of that and because she won't take it back.
That's the reason. She won't bend the knee.
She won't bend the knee for what she said. And the thing is, saying stuff like that can land you in trouble because I've heard stories. No, I'm not kidding. I've heard stories on Twitch where if you say that there's only two genders or if there's only biological genders, you get perma-banned.
Well, this is the thing that I understand. And I always confuse which one. Nick, you're smarter than me. So you might. One is a construct of society. So yes, there can be 72 versions of it. I don't know if that's gender or, No,
it's gender. Sex is biology.
Sex is biology. Gender
That's my
is okay. Same here. So if gender, you want to be whatever you want to be, I'm good with that. Yeah. I'm just coming down to the scientific facts that are not racist or sexist people. They're just proof that biological, there are men and women. Now, if you want to do something that makes you feel better, and it's by changing your form from a woman to a man or a man to a woman, God bless you. I hope your life is so much better after that. I really do, because I want people to find peace in this world. But the truth of the matter is, someone shouldn't get kicked out of college for making a statement on Instagram that didn't attack anyone.
Well, but that's the thing is that, and that's the thing with social media is that, even in Twitter and on YouTube is that you can potentially get banned or get in trouble for stuff you say outside of the platform. We see it on Twitch all the time.
Well, yeah. Okay. So, sorry. I thought you finished there.
No. Well, another example. Let me explain this. Sorry, Heitkamp. But another example is YouTuber Sargon of Akkad, who got kicked off of Patreon just for being in a podcast where he did bring up, he did say the N-word, but he said it, but they took it out of context. He got kicked off of Patreon for something that he wasn't even on the platform for.
Yeah. Well, was he not making fun of the people that use it?
Exactly.
And that's not defending that, but I'm just trying to discuss the context of what happened.
Right.
God, I'm afraid of being kicked off. Like I had to make sure that I set up the context in order to even discuss this.
Right.
It's just that the thing is, sadly this thing is nowadays is that you can't get kicked off a platform for whatever you may say or do off the platform. That is away from the platform.
And that's another thing that freaks me out. Like you can get kicked off of Twitter for something you say on Facebook. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah. Last word, Yeti, and we'll move on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's very dangerous that is that type of post is getting people kicked out of school.
Yes.
I don't know, I don't know what he said that was factually incorrect. Like at a biological level, what was wrong?
Right. That's it. He said everything, and then at the very end said biological. I think it was that little part right before it where, no matter what you feel, this is the truth. And even though he's stating a fact about biology, people confuse gender with with the sex. They confuse that. And
there's an issue with that altogether, because that's only come into play recently in the last decade or two.
Yes. Right.
That was never a thing before. Those words were interchangeable and meant the same thing. Now it's different. And so there's people struggling with that.
Yeah. And also paper mache Boba Fett does look weird. So we're going to move on, because we could definitely do another whole stream about that, but I want to get this, and then because we're over the 2-hour mark already. We're not going to read this one. My question is just Thanksgiving Comic-Con. Will it happen? Will stars, producers, and fans go if it does? Let's start with you, Makani.
We're talking about the big one.
We're talking about San Diego Comic-Con and Thanksgiving.
I don't think so. And I'm gonna say this, and because usually at that time of year is New York, is another big convention, is New York Comic-Con. It's usually around that time of year. So I don't know if that's gonna work, but from everything that's happened in 2020 with the pandemic, with the lockdowns, it's hard to set up conventions. People don't want to go to conventions anymore because of just lockdown procedures. A lot of conventions got canceled last year.
Right.
A lot of events were hurt.
Everything. My thing is, when is Comic-Con usually? Isn't it in the summer?
Comic-Con's usually in the summer. Yes.
Right. So then they're moving it to, like you just said, New York's around that time. And they're not even worried about the fans. They think that stars and execs will not send their actors and their product there because of fear of the coronavirus, which is, I don't know.
That and another thing is, at this point, and I see, unfortunately, I see San Diego Comic-Con going the same way that I saw with E3.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to, because we have the internet, because we have social media, we can make, and because we can make these big announcements on our own terms,
right?
Like what we saw last year with DC Fandom, that huge weekend long event where they had all this stuff, all these reveals. They can do that. What's stopping producers, what's stopping the entertainment industry, what's stopping actors and stuff from doing kind of an online event like that versus having to try to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars flying people out, send them at hotels, setting up booths for the convention, setting up these big presentations, when it's something that they could probably do online. They could set up an online event.
Yeah, but it never has the same effect.
It doesn't. No. I'm saying, I know that. I know it doesn't have the same effect. I agree 100%. I'm just saying it's probably more convenient and less cost heavy for them.
I mean, you could be wearing your pajama pants and still go. I mean, look at DC Fandom. They did a pretty decent job with that. But it's, again, I've never been to a Comic-Con except for the one there was one in Connecticut at one of the casinos, Mohegan Sun. I knew somebody selling comic books there, so I drove up there and checked it out. But other than that, I haven't been to one of the big ones.
So I moved to Cali in 2011, and
why?
There is a so for those who don't know, WonderCon is usually the precursor to San Diego Comic-Con, and technically my first convention was Anime Fest in Dallas in 2010, but I went to the last WonderCon that they ever held in San Francisco, before they moved it over to Anaheim. Since then, I've been going. And since then, I've been going because I know Gary always talked about going to WonderCon and such, and he's been a part of WonderCon of Neurotic as well because he used to be in San Francisco. But ever since then, the only con I've ever went to was Silicon Valley Comic-Con in San Jose.
Okay.
You know what's sad?
I stopped because the prices just got too expensive.
Understand. What are you going to say, Eddie?
Oh, you know what's sad? I've never been to a Comic-Con ever. And the only thing that ever stopped me is because I didn't have anyone to go with. They're like, I didn't want to go there by myself.
Right.
I should have because
go with the group.
Yeah, I would have went by myself, Yeti. I would have.
Oh, same here.
But I don't know if you guys know this about me. I talk a lot, so I can easily like my wife always says it like you easily make friends. Why?
Yeah.
It's just I listen to people and I talk about what they're talking about. But I wanted to go Con of Thrones, which is a Game of Thrones one they had in I think Nashville last year, and I missed that, or 2 years ago, and I was hoping to go this past year, and again those are shut down. I wanted to try to get on one of the panels, and if they come back, we're gonna do a Sporking push to get on the panel. All right, so we're gonna work on that one. Yeah, I look, Comic-Con is like a destination to dorks like us. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's a mecca.
I wanted to go so bad, but I'm not like you. I'm far more introverted, and I was just like, oh no, then I'm just by myself, and I don't know people, and
I don't care. I would just.
I envy that. I envy that part.
Same here.
Because I am very good once I'm introduced to someone. But trying to start something, it's the most awkward thing.
Well, the thing is, and the thing is for me, it's different. It's just, I've always thought about, someday, instead of having to go to Silicon Valley, I would actually be a part of the Artist Alley.
Oh, that'd be dope.
The whole Artist Alley to set up a table.
You're getting there.
And there. You have to learn how to because I know it does take some money. It does cost money, and it costs everything to set and learning how to just set up a whole artist table at the convention. Because that's the thing. That's usually the first place I go to a convention. I always go to Artist Alley because I like talking to other artists.
Well, that's like when you get to meet these people and exchange ideas. My question though is, Nick, do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert, or just
introvert? Definitely.
I knew that answer. I don't know why I asked it. But now, would you ever go to a con, or pre-pandemic or post?
I don't know. I've never really entertained the thought before.
Yeah. Now, does Australia? They must have cons, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm just not really sure where.
Yeah. You know what, man? If I ever get to be a larger channel, I will pay you and your brother to be commentaries at an Australia con and do videos. That's my.
There was that talk about the whole. What was it? It was like the Comicsgate or Fandom Menace convention that they were going to try to set up.
Yeah, that would be
last year too, but it wasn't going to play out because of the pandemic. But yeah,
somebody put if EVS had his Comicsgate on, that would be huge.
That would be awesome.
It would be huge. I'd go. I'd definitely
go in a heartbeat.
That'd be freaking awesome. And Zaz 7, am I saying that right?
Probably Zax.
Oh, good one. The online cons are kind of sad. You're absolutely
They
right.
are. It's just you don't get that effect.
Especially because it's done by people that are in Hollywood and they can't get a good camera or microphone around. Like we have better audio than they do at most of these things, and that is very sad.
Right?
I think they've had that.
Yeah. To be fair, the only good online convention aside from DC Fandom was this year's Emerald City Comic Con, which was hosted by our very own Amanda Gilliam, which had a panel with like OrdsBored, Fat Steven, a lot of local of us here. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, pop culture. Hey, DM me. We're about to shut this one down, but DM me. I'll try to get you on one of the shows one of these times, and we'll get your view on conventions. Oh God, another monster 2.5 hours late, but thank God I can relax now. You're here. Shane G says we don't Thanksgiving here, but turkey and comics sounds like the perfect holiday, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you, man. I have tons and tons of convention stories. I'd like to hear those. And yes, Darren, please, London Comic-Con, do a video. We'll put it on my channel, dude. You could be a commentator for Sporking News. That's kind of something I would love to start my own like real channel. Yes, please sub to our friend Finaldeathstar. He just got over the 1,000 mark, but he needs watch hours. Give him and Yeti and Makani and Nick all the watch hours you guys can. Please. It's huge.
I'm 90 away from 1,000.
Woo!
90. It's right there. It's
really
so close.
And I don't follow you. Okay, well, like one of my things, and I'll follow you right now. I didn't realize. I don't follow a lot of people. I follow like 2,000 people. I just don't always follow. So just send me something right now.
Yeah, it took you a while to follow me. I'm like, God damn it, man.
Yeah, I don't even, you know what it is? I don't even realize I didn't follow people. And then like I look at your stuff, I'm like, shit, I wasn't following him.
Oh, yeah.
And Soul Assassin's right. Friday Night Tights, Geeks and Gamer Stuff, EVS, that Star Wars girl, they get more views live than some of these cons did live. That's how
cool
sad it is.
A con like that.
Yeah.
Just having all that.
I just
by multiples too.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get 3 times the viewership.
Yes, they will.
Oh, it'd be awesome, dude. It'd be awesome. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up, boys. I appreciate you guys being here. Guys, a lot of these guys stayed with us the whole time. Thank you so much. Another monster just got here and he says you're going to be on the panel this Sunday, correct? What with yes, Finaldeathstar. Make sure, so go back to this one from another monster. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Enter the Unfamiliar. This Sunday, I actually will be joining him for his live stream. We're going to be talking about the Shroud of Turin, and it's on Easter. So I thought that was a great idea he had. So please, guys, yes, I will be on that one. Make sure you guys check it out.
That is cool. I love that stuff. I am so fascinated by all of that realm.
Right before Finaldeathstar changed his channel over, I almost changed mine to doing ancient civilizations, forgotten like history, aliens, all that. Oh yeah, dude, we'll do a show.
Oh, seriously. we need to talk. We so have to.
I call my channel the ADHD of YouTube because I want to do everything. Where everyone tells me you should really focus on one thing, I find it hard. But one guy who you could focus on, because look at that pretty face, Nicholas McCabe. We call him Nick. He's at Mr. Mooney Blue 1 on Twitter. Nick, tell us a little about yourself, where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube at Nick McCabe. You can also find me on Twitter, as Thingy said, as Mr. Mooney Blue 1. There I'm most active. You can also find me on Minds at Nick McCabe. And I haven't really I've got lots of ideas regarding YouTube at the moment. It's just a matter of picking an idea and sitting my ass down and making something. But watch this space.
I enjoy your stuff, man. Your content's cool. It's not always. I love that one you did it with Harry Potter and different. Oh God, what is the term you used? It's
Harry Potter spell book tags.
Yes. I never heard of that before you talked about it. So I thought that was really cool. As always, though, Nick, you're always invited on, man. So thank you for stopping in. Tell Sam
Thanks for being here. Yeah.
What's up? I miss him.
I will.
And next time I'll try to make sure you talk more because I always cut you guys off. So I'm sorry. All right. And next up, I'll call it a guest, but he can be a panelist if he likes. Yeti Cast.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't know what the etiquette was, so I didn't know if I could just drop in. I saw the stuff.
So this is when I put who's available tonight, just respond if you're available. And if you are, I'll let you know to jump on or not.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. But as soon as I was watching and you start talking, you're like, okay, I guess I should be on here.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Let's see. Oh, it's been a long couple days, so I can't remember. I just put out a video today. Check that out. It was a real quick review of Godzilla versus Kong.
Just tell me, like or dislike.
Oh, I like it. It's
Okay.
fun. Yeah, I think it's very much fun. And
Where's that? What's that on right now?
HBO Max.
Oh, I'm going to watch that after this. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's well, I think my quick video, because I between my roasts, I'm doing these quick reviews so that there's something for people to come back for. Anyways, on Friday, I'm on with Pop Culture Minefield. I believe it's starting at noon or 1 Pacific Standard Time with Cameron Posh.
Cameron Pasha.
Pasha. Okay, sorry for screwing that up. That will be.
You're going to be canceled. You're going to get canceled now.
I know I am.
Nah, Cameron's awesome.
And then we have Movies to Lose Friends By on Saturdays at noon Pacific Standard Time with my buddy and co-host Latino Slant. So always come by and check that out. And Monday nights, it's Raiders of the Lost Art with a bunch of my friends, and we go over everything pop culture and just the things that Hollywood has lost. Yeah, I can't remember anything else right now. So subscribe, because I'm 90 away. So please, and watch my video.
So awesome. Yeti, we got to nail down a date with me, you, and Paulie to do that, because I know we tried. I would love to do that. Paulie's one of my favorite YouTubers. That dude is so smooth.
He's fantastic.
He really is. He is really fantastic. It just seems like he has one of the best hearts out there. So we'll nail down one with a crappy movie we'll discuss. I like that idea. Thanks for being on, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me and hounding me. I think that was Justin Proper. Like, get on here.
Justin Proper, man. And Culture put it perfectly. Justin knows talent, and he gave you one of those Justin, this guy's going to blow up talent type things. So realize that, dude. Realize that. Machini 90, what are we looking at?
I'm still hoping Justin will do the same for me, but anyway, name's Machini Knight, Arts Illustrator. You can find me on YouTube, where I do timeless videos every week, draw streams every Sunday. I want to throw something. I want to ask a question to panel here, and to everybody in the chat. Do you guys like Fortnite? Right?
I just signed up for it because I realized I could do it on my computer. I'm so old. I didn't know.
Okay.
So yes.
So in other words, yes. All right. So this was an idea that Fat Steven Seagal threw out to me. I put up a poll over the weekend, just putting out 3 skins, and I got 47 votes. I got a lot of people voting.
Yep.
And I did a time-lapse video based on whoever won the poll, and this week it was Raven, Classic Raven, from Battle Pass to Season 6. Now, here's the thing. I want you guys to please check out this video, comment, just let me know what you guys think. If this is something you guys want me to do more of, because awesome. I am so open to doing more Fortnite skin art, because I actually had fun together and actually had fun looking this up. Now on Sunday, me and Mads Mama Bear, we're gonna be sketching up different Fortnite skins based on what we picked out and based on what you guys picked out. So please leave your suggestions as well. I really appreciate that. And also, guys, please just check this video out and just give me your feedback, because I really want to get a good gauge if this is something you guys want me to do as a weekly thing, because I really did like doing this, and I'll probably will do another one. And that's why I really appreciate that you guys also check the Twitter out, because I will make more polls asking about what different skins you want to see or what different skins you want to vote for me to draw for that wink. So guys,
dude, that is gorgeous.
Please check that out. I'll put the link in the chat. I just hit my milestone last week at 5:15, so I'm pushing towards the next milestone. I'm trying to get that same momentum that I see Yeti and Fat Steven and everybody else is. So guys, I can't stress this out enough. If you guys like this content and you want to see more of this, please smash the subscribe button. You guys are not going to be disappointed. I'm pushing towards 1,000.
Look at that.
We're
that
taking it
gorgeous,
one at a time.
Dude.
600. Next stop is 600. I'm at 515. Let's get that 75.
Don't forget what Gary and Doomcock and Geeks and Game, like Jeremy has said. you'll get these bursts and then the grind happens again. If you make it through the grind, you guys will all grow. Look, I got to 1200 something so fast in August, and it took another, what month are we in? March of the next year to get another 100 subs. So it happens, man. It happens. Just be dedicated to what you're doing. You are an amazing artist, dude. You're amazing.
And the thing is with me is that it's just like, I guess for me is that it takes me longer to put out a video because this is not something I can just throw together.
Right. Take your time, dude. And guys, like he said, it's really important to like and comment. Like Shane G and a couple others comment on all my streams after they're done, just for the algorithm. It really does help. I haven't put out a regular video in a while, so I'm going to start doing that. But it's like on Machini's, on Nick's, on Yeti's, everybody's. Make sure when you watch something, just a quick comment, like great video or work on this, Dick, or something, like whatever.
Yeah. Even just call me an asshole and it helps.
and I'm serious. And I'm serious about this video, guys. Please check that out. Let me know what you think. Because if I really need a good gauge on if this is something that people want me to make like a weekly video of a weekly series of. So I just need as much feedback as possible.
Yes. And also Miss Martin Muses, guys, one of my favorite people. We have such a good time on Mondays when we have our show. We do our book, Song of Ice and Fire reread, even though after the news today with the Broadway play, it's really pushing my buttons. But we'll keep doing book 2. George, finish the fucking book. Please, God damn it. All right. Luckily I have kids sleeping or I would lose my ever-loving mind again. Thank you guys. Thank you to everybody for coming tonight. Thank you to all my channel members. Thank you to Shane G as one of my channel members. Thank you to, it is Toxic Man Flu, Jake D, Who Knew, and Tina Bojan for being Littlefinger level subscribers. And this goes out to the rest of my Sporkerz. Please feel free to become a channel member today. But we're done. So stick a spork in it. It's over. God, that sexy guy behind that. Look at that. All right, everybody, have a great